Well, here we are, episode 130. Yeah, kicking off year 4 of the Milk Crates and Turntables podcast. Look at that. No end in sight. And on this episode, me and the Wrecking 2 are going to kick off the new year by talking about 1970 in music and movies. 1970 was kind of a strange year. Was it still the 60s in that sense? Or did it start to kind of turn the corner? We'll see. And with that, sit back, relax, enjoy 1970 all over again.
The KOFB studio presents Milk Crates and Turntables, a music discussion podcast hosted by Scott McLean. Now, let's talk music. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction as usual. Happy New Year! Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I'm so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. I never did that before. Hey, well, this is it. We're kicking off year 4 of the Milk Crates and Turntables podcast. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. 130 episodes and no end in sight. No end in sight. So I usually don't say the name of the podcast, but I just did. So I'll move on from that. We're streaming live right now over Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X. I got to change it. See, I got so used to saying that boom that I have to change it to X. And whatever other live ones we have. We're out there in the live streaming world right now. But let me bring on. No, I'm not going to bring them on. See, as soon as I said that, they get ready. They get ready. So I thought I'd kind of play a little game with them right now. Let me bring on Kikio.
Good evening.
What's up, Lou?
Not much, man.
All right.
Ready to talk about some music and movies and such.
All right. Well, let me bring on the other half of the Wrecking 2.
My better half.
Mark Smith.
Hello. How are you?
Hey.
Happy New Year.
I don't like that. There we go.
There we go.
Got to get the boxes set up right. Happy New Year to you too, buddy.
It looks like we're your shoulders. We're each...
Did the intro, my part of the intro, sound a little different tonight? Did you notice, or do you not?
I'd have to be a little more scrutinizing.
I was doing last minute show prep, so.
Okay. No, I just thought it sounded, when I was recording it earlier, it just didn't sound right. So
it sounds a little I'm not gonna say it's not as loud. It does sound more evened out.
Right, you're right. Yeah. The music, right?
Yeah.
Or the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing, your intro and everything. I mean, I don't think it doesn't seem lacking in any dynamic. Well, let me know. It seems the dynamics seem to be brought down a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know what the hell happened there.
It didn't sound bad at all, though.
Okay, well, that's
you
all.
You do have a mastering engineer in the house. You could have asked me, but
yeah, I heard you mastered something else too.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I heard you worked down on the docks. You became a masturbator.
Legend has it.
Legend has it. Suzanne McPhail, my buddy. I love Suzanne. Good evening, Suzanne. So yeah, let's
Hey, can I just say something right on the top?
Absolutely.
Right at the top before we go into the year.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a sad anniversary. Yesterday was the day that we lost both David Bowie and Jeff Beck. Two deaths that really affected me. Bummed me out, especially David Bowie, because I still remember buying Black Star, loving it. He's back. And the next day he died.
Yeah.
Like, man,
Yeah. Well, speaking of in memoriam, I'm wearing my Bill Belichick 2002 gray hoodie in memory of our former coach. He's moving on. It's going to be an interesting journey from this point on with the Patriots. So,
hey, I'm a Jets fan.
Well, I bet you're happy. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't be that happy with that team, but
I love them that they lose. That's the only reason I like them. You know, I'm a soccer fan, so
yeah. So 1970. Yeah. Let's jump right into it.
Beginning of a decade.
Yeah, but it was
milestone
still
years.
That's why I said at the beginning of the show, was it still like the 60s? Because we're going to talk about a lot of stuff that was going on in the latest 60s. I think that's the interesting part of a decade transition.
Especially that one.
Yeah, just because it turns into a new decade doesn't mean everything changes.
There were
right?
still hippies in 1970.
Yeah, there were. So on January 3rd, 1970, ex-Pink Floyd frontman Syd Barrett released his first solo album, The Madcap Laughs. Womp, 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 womp.
I was never a fan either.
No. So
I always said if he stayed in the band, they just would have been another psychedelic band.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I wasn't a big fan of that style that they were rolling with back then.
Yeah.
The next day, January 4th, 1970, the Who drummer Keith Moon fatally runs over his chauffeur with his Bentley, trying to escape a mob outside of a pub.
Jesus.
The death is later ruled an accident. That was really crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
That's not a big, widely known story, I don't think.
No, you should read it, though. It was crazy. Yeah. January 7th, well, Max Yeager, owner of the Bethel, New York farm where the 1969 Woodstock Festival was held, is sued for $35,000 in property damage by neighboring farms.
You think so? There's probably tons of garbage and human waste everywhere over there, you know?
$35,000 back in 1970 wasn't a little bit of money.
Right?
That's like $500,000, right? Or
probably, yeah.
Damn.
On January 9th, Led Zeppelin performs at the Royal Albert Hall, where John Bonham proceeds to play a 15-minute rendition of Moby Dick.
Yes.
Jack would have loved that.
Boom, boom, boom.
At the Royal Albert Hall, wow.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
With
the
I
hand.
think
yeah.
at that point, I think it was novel enough that you didn't go out for a beer or go to pee or anything like that. I think at that point,
You watched it, yeah.
you watched it. After maybe 10 years later, you're like, okay, you know.
But then, I don't know,
Unless it's Neil Peart.
25, 30 years later, someone's going, I was there when he played a fucking 15-minute.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Blew
my mind.
That kind of reminds me. I saw a while back. I saw Creedence Clearwater Revisited, right, which was a phenomenal show.
I bet
it really was. I mean, the lead singer, sounded, exactly like what's his name, John
Fogerty.
John Fogerty. Sounded like him. The guy. It was a great show, and so. They go into, hey, Allison, good evening.
Hi, sister.
Welcome to the show. They go into Susie Q, and they're playing, and I love that fucking song, right? Mm-hmm. And about, I don't know, 6 minutes into it, right? These two young girls in front of me, you hear the other one go, how long does this song go for? And I said, evidently you've never listened to Creedence.
One of the best jams.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
it's
listen.
A great groove, man.
Those guys could arguably be the greatest backup band, like rhythm section ever. They just had it.
They're definitely up there, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, they're up there. Yeah, that's right. I always say arguably because you can't say definitive because It's all opinion because so. And if Jack was, he'd go, whoa, 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 what makes you say that? Anyway.
But I would agree, arguably one of the tightest rhythm sections.
Man.
I mean, the thing is, there were singles. Creedence were a singles band in a lot of ways, and kind of a dance band. So that they grooved, but they were simple. That's the whole thing. Doug Clifford wasn't sliding all over the the neck of the bass.
Deceptively simple, right?
Always so,
right?
Yeah.
Because I always heard John Fogerty. It's not easy to play his parts,
or sing those songs,
or sing them.
High ass keys, man.
But they were good. Creedence Clearwater Revisited were good.
When you saw them, was Elliot Easton of the Cars playing with them?
No. No.
Okay.
No, I saw them back around 2010.
Okay.
So I don't think he was with them then. Let me see. On January 14th, 1970, Diana Ross and the Supremes performed for the last time together at the Frontier Hotel in Las Vegas. End of an era there.
Yeah. Power struggle.
Yeah. On January 16th, 1970, John Lennon's London Art Gallery exhibit of lithographs, Bag 1, is shut down by Scotland Yard for displaying erotic lithographs.
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Naked Yoko lithographs.
Ugh, I'd shut it down too.
Check this out. Today, I was driving my work van back to the shop, and I'm in the 35-mile zone, and this Subaru pulls out. The license plate in the back says Yoko Ono. And she starts going 55 miles an hour down there. I mean, you don't drive that speed on this road. I was like, I wanted to catch up and take a picture of it to show you guys, actually. And Yoko got away. I'm like, Yoko wouldn't drive a Subaru in Nashville because everyone has a Subaru in Nashville. But I'm like, why is the license plate Yoko Ono?
The only one,
though, right?
The only one in North Carolina.
Yeah. When she beeped the horn and went, couldn't resist.
Can you?
Get out of the way!
That's what I heard. Okay.
On January 24th, 1970, James Shep Shepard of the Heartbeats and Shep in the Limelights is found murdered in his car on the Long Island Expressway.
On the LIE, man. Shep.
Shep is dead, man. Shep is dead.
He was found dead in his car on the Long Island.
Yeah,
Expressway.
On the expressway.
Hopefully, he was
murdered.
Breakdown. Murder. Jesus.
Them fucking hitchhikers, buddy.
Wow, that's
Remember,
pretty
back in
kind
the
of
day,
cool.
they said don't pick up a hitchhiker. But that's
right.
They maybe picked up the wrong one.
There's a
Did you ever see
killer on
that
the
movie?
road.
Did you ever see that 80s movie, The Hitcher?
With Rutger Hauer?
Rutger Hauer and C. Thomas Howell.
C. Thomas Howell. That was a fucking good movie, dude.
That was a good thriller, man. Yeah.
I might rewatch that. Rutger Hauer was one of the, like, he was just creep factor 10 when he wanted to be.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did he die?
Yeah. Yeah, he died a few years back.
Did you see Confessions?
He wasn't murdered, though, and found on the Long Island Expressway.
No.
I'll tell you that.
Did you see Confessions of a Dangerous Mind?
I
Chuck Barris.
think I did. Oh, yeah. CIA.
He plays an old assassin that's just kind of worried about he's getting old. You got to retire, and you don't retire from that job. It was a great role for him.
Yeah. He was a good actor, good character actor.
Blade Runner.
Yeah. Classic. That was his classic. That was his opus, right? Magnum opus. Is that what they say?
Yep.
Let's see. January 26th, 1970. Simon and Garfunkel released their final album together, Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Was that a kind of the name of that and the song? Was that kind of
a metaphor?
Yeah. The title track of the album stayed number one in the Billboard charts for 6 weeks, and goes on to win a record 6 Grammys at the 13th annual Grammy Awards. Well, we know what's coming up later, right? Including Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Album of the Year. I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for Art Garfunkel, that song would never have been anything.
Damn right. The thing was, he didn't want to sing it. He was just like, no. Like, Simon was insisting, but yeah. Man.
Simon says.
Simple Simon says. Yeah, so that I think it deserved every Grammy it won.
Yeah. Let me see. In Britain, it tops the album charts at regular intervals over the next 2 years and becomes the best-selling album in Britain during the 70s.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a cool fact.
Yeah. January 27th, Miles Davis makes the final recording for his experimental album Circling the Round, featuring Sitar and Tabla. Sitar and Tabla. January 28th, 1970, the newly formed Band of Gypsies breaks up when guitarist Jimi Hendrix walks out after playing just 2 songs, telling the audience, "I'm sorry, we just can't get it together."
That's cool.
Wow.
I don't like the Band of Gypsies.
No, I did.
It didn't jive with me.
Really? Yeah.
Nope.
I can see. I kind of like it better. But
why?
Do you really?
I'm going to ask both of you why you think that. Why, Lou? Why didn't you think it jived?
I think Jimi Hendrix is Jimi Hendrix. He can't be. He's almost like a sideman at times, and that's just not him.
Right.
I heard some live stuff by Buddy Miles, the drummer. He sang a lot, and we played it at work, and I'm like, something's really off key, and everyone was like wincing, like and it was him,
Buddy Miles.
Yeah. But I just think the experience. I just think that power trio. I love trios.
Yeah.
I just think the excitement, the energy. I also think the songs. I think Hendrix was at his best as a short, ripping, doing what he did in that Genius level, extended level, in shorter bursts.
Yeah.
I think he was more of a pop genius than people realize, and I think Prince definitely took many pages of his book out of that. But the experience, I don't think the songs were as strong. I just don't think it was as interesting. It didn't. The experience had a gut punch. It was that kind of thing. And Mitch Mitchell, I got to say, Mitch Mitchell is an unsung, underrated drummer.
Oh, absolutely.
Not recognized.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. He's never really mentioned. Right.
Nope.
It's never really mentioned in the list.
In Drum Geek YouTube, sure, he's number 6 in the top 10. Actually, I did see a top 10, and he was like in the top 10 on somebody's list.
Yeah, Drum and Geeks.
But just his jazziness. In fact, I thought like a song like Fire. I think the drums are just as interesting as a guitar, if not more
absolutely.
So.
That's some fast drumming right there.
It's so cool.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he was like Keith Moon with some focus.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. He just, he was more disciplined with the guy. But I mean, he was not shy in that kid at all.
No. Mark, why do you think they were?
I think that Hendrix was really happy at that time, and I like hearing it. The experience had run its course. He was tired of the singles. He was tired of being pushed to do what people expected him to do, smash a guitar, pyrotechnics. Yeah. And this was it was a little bit R&B, a little bit jazz. He was going in a direction Miles Davis was going in. And it's jamming, Now, I don't include the Woodstock band of whatever that was called, Gypsy Moon and Rainbows or whatever. That was horrible. That band was horrible.
I didn't even know that. I never paid attention to that.
That was a hastily assembled band, and there's a guy on a conga through the whole show he's just getting in the way, But Band of Gypsies, to me, was deeply personal, in my opinion. And then you hear like Cry of Love, that the last recordings he made, it wasn't Band of Gypsies, but he was getting very personal. That's why I'm convinced, like, if he had lived, he would have gone into R&B. It wouldn't have been, but again, he got tired of doing the same thing over and over again. And, so I like to hear an artist express themselves and be happy.
Yeah. Let's see. February 11th, 1970.
February.
I'm looking right at the spelling right now. February. Don't you people start with me. The film. Here we go again. The film, The Magic Christian, starring Peter Sellers and Ringo Starr. Yeah.
We have many of those now.
Is premiered in New York City. The film's soundtrack album, including Badfinger's Come and Get It, written and produced by Paul McCartney, is released on Apple Records.
Never heard of it.
I didn't even know that movie existed, to tell you the truth.
I think, and actually, Badfinger's, second record is called Magic Christian Music. And
Okay.
Come and Get It was a single off that record.
So it was written for a movie. Wow.
Yep.
Right,
Do you know who produced? Mal Evans is one of the producers, and Tony Visconti produced that album.
Tony Visconti.
Oh,
yeah. February 13th, English band Black Sabbath released their self-titled debut album in the UK, credited as the first major album in the heavy metal genre.
what a game changer.
Ooh. Absolutely.
Is it?
Was.
Is it the first heavy metal record?
Well, it's highly considered to be. I don't think there's anything that came out around that time that was anything even close to it.
You know what you could say? Like a lot of people will say Blue Cheer, or they'll say Jeff Beck Group or Led Zeppelin 69, but
it's not heavy metal.
That's heavy metal is
so
dark, evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about dark and evil. I know it's heavy, it's dark, it's
a certain sludginess to it.
So then since Steppenwolf coined the phrase heavy metal, right?
Yeah.
And they were pretty heavy in their own right. Why weren't they considered? Why wasn't that considered heavy metal?
They were too light on their feet.
Meaning?
I wouldn't consider Hush by Deep Purple heavy metal.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but I'm saying Steppenwolf. You think they were?
No, I don't. I think they just came up with something. I think they used it in a poetic sense, and it caught on.
They were like a hard rock. They're the origins of hard rock.
But if they said, okay, they coined the term heavy metal, then it didn't have. It was just a term. It didn't have a genre yet. So how do you get a name before a genre exists?
Maybe just somehow the lyric just caught on somehow, and I don't think even Black Sabbath probably didn't call themselves heavy metal. But how did the term? That is a good. There's
I
probably
like
a rabbit.
Smoking Lightning, heavy metal thunder.
Right,
and it's widely considered that is where the term heavy metal came from.
Yeah,
the term, but not the genre.
And then a critic liked that word, so he used it probably to describe Black Sabbath, and that's where it started. So it was probably really a critic.
Or I just think it might be like an artistic thing where, like, we heard Black Sabbath for a record. It sounds metallic. If you could attach an element to it, metal is something, like molten metal or something. Or
they are from Birmingham, right?
There you go. They were from Sheffield.
But part of true heavy metal is dark imagery, and that the cover of that album scared the shit out of me. That creepy lady on it, and Black Sabbath, the song. I mean, it's and they're having fun. Like, I used to think it was really evil when I was young because I grew up in a very strict Christian environment, and I realized they were having fun with that song. It's kind of hokey, but it's a seriously good riff.
Okay, so we just had a comment in from Lighted Person Ag for something. Hello, sorry for bothering you. Well, you're fucking bothering me. Okay?
It's Perry. I
want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chatbots, etc. You trying to fucking sell me chatbots? What? The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Flexible and convenient. Order management panel, chat panel. Everything is at your hands. Turn it on, turn it off. Customer.
Don't say the web link.
Yourself.
Don't say the web link because then you're advertising them.
How about go fuck yourself? You motherfucker.
Oh, are we
Get the fuck off my channel?
Are we sanitizing the show now? Are we like on the real radio, terrestrial radio?
Fuck that.
Okay.
With all these new promotions, we would be if we just take the bait here.
Yeah, if we just
flexible and convenient order management.
Add to the block list. They're blocked. They're blocked. Moving on. Valentine's Day is some people call it. It's Valentine's Day. 1970.
Valentine's to you.
Yeah, I was at the library on Valentine's Day.
That's a great one. That's
and I ran into this person. They had old timers disease. Yeah,
I got that. It's called the Schmitties.
People.
Yes, it is.
The Who records live at Leeds,
in
Yorkshire, England. The Grateful Dead plays an equally historic concert on the same date at Fillmore East in New York City. Wow. Yeah.
Great album.
Yeah, the first one, not that Grateful Dead I think they're still playing that show, as a matter of fact, aren't they? Isn't that still going on?
It's somewhere in outer space. Some alien goo form is picking that up.
In my mind, it's still going on,
It's
Scott. It's still going on.
February 17th, Joni Mitchell announces that she is retiring from live performances following her show at London's Royal Albert Hall. She would be back performing concerts within a year. Why do they do that?
I know.
Why do they do that?
Do you know?
Come on.
You know who got me?
A bad experience, maybe, or
you know who taught me that never to believe it was the Who. When they did their final show in '82 or something, and I taped it, and I was like, "It's the final Who show," and then I saw them 3 more times.
Yeah,
you know, come on. And
they've
Ozzy,
all done it. Elton John's done it a couple times.
with Kenny Jones on drums.
Yeah.
Let's see. February 23rd, Ringo Starr appears on the television show Rowan and Martin's Laughing. I don't know what
that was still on in '70.
Yeah.
Sakatumi, man.
Goldie Hawn was getting old,
man. Yeah. Very interesting.
Nixon was on it.
Stupid.
Remember Nixon on it?
Sock it to me.
Sock it to me.
Yeah. Well, it was a cultural phenomenon.
Yep.
You know?
Yes, it was.
There was nothing like it before.
No.
Goldie
Judy
Hawn
Carn
didn't hurt the ratings. Goldie Hawn in the little bikini didn't hurt the ratings.
Either did Judy Carn.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
she went out with she went with Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, she wasn't. She was a hottie. Yeah,
she was.
Lily Tomlin wasn't.
What are you talking about?
One ringy dingy, two ringy dingy.
And then she did Edith Ann in the giant rocking chair.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Edith Ann.
But you know something? She was creative.
She was funny.
Oh, she was funny.
Yeah, but
she didn't have the sex to sell.
No,
at least not that kind of go-go variety, which was the thing in the late '60s.
Yeah. Let me see. February 23rd. Nope, already did that. February 27th. Jefferson Airplane is fined $1,000 for using profanity during a concert in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Ooh,
That's
boy.
1970 for you.
Oh boy, they better stop that profanity
In Oklahoma.
Yeah, well, you're in the Bible Belt there, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, Oklahoma.
You should know better.
That's right.
You're going to get Sheriff Buford T. Pusser after your ass.
My ex-wife lived in the town of Hydro, Oklahoma for a while. So that just it sounds horrible.
Oh, my God.
Sounds like a crater.
Yeah. February 28th, 1970, Elvis Presley performed at the Houston Astrodome. The king of rock and roll broke previous attendance records with a crowd of 36,299, which was 10,000 more than the previous record. Today, that's like fucking the norm.
Yeah.
For a big show.
I've played to that many people.
Oh, there you go.
No, I haven't.
There you go. Also on
the
February
first live from Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Live at Lou's instead of live at Leeds. Live at Lou's.
Lou's house.
The House of Lou's.
Ba-dum-bum.
Also on February 28th, 1970s, Led Zeppelin perform in Copenhagen under the pseudonym. Do you know?
Oh my God, Knobs. The Knobs.
The Knobs. There you go.
Yeah,
there you
Knobs.
go. Buddy.
What was it? The Knobs.
Because the Zeppelin family, Hilden von Zeppelin, were threatening a lawsuit. Or whatever her name was.
It's a great name for a band.
The Knobs.
Absolutely. That's so English. That's very English.
Go get a knob.
Speaking of knobs, I'm testing some. That's what these sounds are.
Yeah, we hear music every so often coming through.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone driving down a dark road right now is going to love this part of the show, listening to it.
Yeah, it's like an old radio show.
There it is. I like this one.
Not coming through on my end.
I can't hear it.
Hear them. Yeah.
No.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Could you hear the? My voice change earlier?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but you can't hear these.
Nope.
What the hell?
I think
here we go again. Anyway.
Here we go again.
Oh, this is why. Let me see. How's this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my favorite one right here.
Oh, I hate that. Don't do that. Don't. I ruined many needles in my day.
There you go. Oh, applause is always great.
That's when I talk.
Classic.
You want to hear about my New Year's Eve, Scott?
Crickets. I hear nothing but crickets. the needle scratch is the best one.
I called my answering machine to say happy anniversary earlier in the day. Then I came home and played it. Ouch. You're not a good DJ.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Where were we? Oh, yeah.
February.
Astrodome, Copenhagen. Yeah, the Knobs. They performed under the name The Knobs to avoid a threatened lawsuit by Count Eva von Zeppelin,
Gee.
descendant of airship designer Ferdinand von Zeppelin.
Who fucked up.
Yeah, well.
That family has assassins. You don't mess with them.
The Zeppelins?
Yeah,
Really?
They have reach. They go back. So
I didn't know
that
that.
just sounds like a family you don't mess with, you know.
Oh, I thought you knew something. But you didn't know.
I'm not saying I knew something. I'm not saying
So we were going to get another mob story, but about the Zeppelins.
I got some.
Okay.
On March 4th, 1970, Janis Joplin is fined $200 for using obscene language during a concert performance in Tampa, Florida. That dude had no care. That dude.
Oh, don't you do that. Don't you curse.
That dude did not care where he was when he was playing. He's in Tampa.
You're terrible.
You are.
Dude
You're
did
horrible.
not care.
You know, it's funny. Like, think about what they're doing. Like, I mean, I thought we were uptight now. It's just, I mean, like it's saying fuck.
Well, there's only one side that's uptight, Lou. There's only one side that's uptight.
I ain't uptight.
No, you're not.
I think the other side's uptight for being uptight, for being
I'm not
uptight, for
I'm not
some people being uptight.
I'm not uptight. I'm very loose.
Everything is all right.
But you know what?
I'm
It's
a very
funny.
loose man.
You're right, Lou. We have to remember Lenny Bruce went to jail, right? You know, and that wasn't that long ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Lenny Bruce was not afraid.
If Lenny Bruce was jailed, Scott, if you were alive at that time doing this,
oh, I'd be on the nightly news. Don't you know? On March 6th, 1970, blah, blah, blah. March 6th, 1970, Charles Manson releases an album titled,
The Long and Terror Cult. The Love and
you
Terror
got a
Cult.
couple of the words right.
The Love and Terror Cult.
Lie, the Love and Terror Cult.
That's right.
That's right. Good for you.
Lou is our
Professor.
resident expert on that.
Thank you. That album features the hit singles "Look at Your Game Girl," "Cease to Exist," and my favorite is "Garbage Dump."
Precursor to grunge.
What was it? Look at your game, girl.
Look at your game, girl. Cease to exist.
That's like she got game. Like he was way ahead of his time.
Look at your game,
way ahead of his
girl.
time.
Like check out your game, girl. Damn,
Garbage
girl.
Dump. Yeah, game girl.
You know who got game? You know what game? My friend Suzanne. She got game.
Really?
Yeah. Suzanne she's a game girl. She got game.
She's game, but not gamey.
No.
No.
All right, moving on. Right.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. March 7th, 1970, Mountain, one of many bands credited as having influenced in development of heavy metal music, released Climbing, their debut album.
Like climbing a mountain.
Yeah. Leslie West was a bitch, though. He's just a bitch. I mean, great guitarist and everything, but I've heard stories and I've read stories and seen clips, and he'd be crying backstage because he's upset over something, and he just was a big bitch.
I think Long Island, New York rock is kind of weird. It's really diverse, but it's a strange form.
Oh yeah,
you got everything from like Mountain to Billy Joel to Blue Oyster Cult
to Zebra.
To Zebra. There you go. Got to get the Zebra mention in.
We're Mountain more hard rock than heavy metal. I mean,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Although Mississippi Queen is a classic.
Oh, hell yeah.
Rock song. Classic riff.
Nantucket Sleigh Ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
don't hear that on the radio anymore.
No. Well, here we go. March 11th, 1970, the 12th annual Grammy Awards are presented in Chicago, Los Angeles, Nashville, New York, and Atlanta. Blood, Sweat, and Tears' self-titled album wins Album of the Year. They never got, they got drowned out by Chicago, I think.
Definitely. Definitely.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I have the greatest hits, and I've listened to it. I'm like, this shit is good.
When I was young, I didn't listen to them because I thought they copied Chicago.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Really?
So then when I started listening to them, I'm like, holy shit, they're different.
I never put it together that they sounded, they had the same.
I heard the horns. I was young and dumb.
Yeah. That was the era of the horn band, too. It was, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Rare Earth, Chicago. I mean, I think Chicago had more rock sensibility than Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Rock sensibility.
And jazz.
25 or 6 to 4.
One incarnation did of Chicago.
I think the earlier stuff, like the 25 or 6. Yeah.
Not the
Blood, Sweat, and Tears, they were a little jazzier. Definitely, I think jazzier. More of a jazz rock band.
Well, Chicago, I mean, I was led by what's his name? Terry
Kath and
Terry Kath. I mean, you know the story that Jimi Hendrix I think they opened up for Jimi Hendrix or something, and this was told by one of the horn players that started the band. I think it was even in there's a documentary, I believe, and he said that Hendrix walked up to him and he said, your guitarist is better than me, right? And he swore to God, he said, I swear to God, he said that to me. He goes, your guitarist is better than me.
Jimmy didn't have an ego.
No, Terry Kath was a fucking great guitar player.
Yes, he was.
He was, yeah.
I know someone that derided his playing and said, all he does is play scales. I'm like, all music is based upon
you know what?
scales.
If you're playing,
it's based upon that.
If that's all you do, you fucking do it great.
Yeah, it was that wasn't quite. It wasn't quite.
Doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you're doing something great and better than everybody else, and fucking Jimi Hendrix says you're better than him, well, you know what?
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Play those scales.
Chicago could be, a lot of those horn bands, they're jazz trained, so there's a certain potential for slickness, and I don't mean that negatively, but Terry Kath was not a slick guitar player. I mean, like some of his
not at all.
There was a funky soulful edge to it. Yeah.
Dirty guitar player.
Yeah.
And his vocal match, it's funny, until I saw one of those documentaries, I didn't know he sang the songs that he sang.
Yeah.
So I thought he sang, but not as prominently as I saw in the doc. And I was like, wow, okay. So he had a voice to match the guitar player.
Yes. So Blood, Sweat, and Tears self-titled album wins Album of the Year. The Fifth Dimension's Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In.
There you go, Lou.
Wins Record of the Year.
Good.
Joe South's Games People Play wins Song of the Year.
That's interesting.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash win Best New Artist in 1970.
Wow.
Let me see. My friend David Egan comments in. Yep, it was supposed to be. It was the Chicago Transit Authority until they got threatened with a lawsuit.
And they allowed them to keep the cover on the first album. I think they might have changed it, but they didn't.
Yeah, probably one of those things where the judge is like, "It's already out there. It's already there." So you're gonna recall all the albums. Good luck with that.
They have to start driving people to work.
Yeah. March 15th, 1970, West German Pavilion at Expo 70 in Osaka features 5.5 hours daily live performances of the music of Karl-Heinz Stockhausen. Why did I even read that? West German Pavilion in Osaka, right?
In Osaka, Japan. Wow.
And then you get 5.5 hours of live performance of the music of Karl-Heinz Stockhausen.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean,
I heard you can get schnitzel and sushi there.
Yeah, and then I heard, who backed him up? Major Hochstetter. Backed him up.
He was the big dog, wasn't
he? Yeah.
He was above Colonel Klink.
Yeah, his drummer was Colonel Klink.
I see nothing.
Yeah. In the middle of the song, everything would stop, and the drummer would just go, Hogan. March 19th, 1970.
Okay,
March 19th, 1970. David Bowie marries model Angela Barnett. Yeah, March 21st, 1970 in Amsterdam.
Wait. Okay, I'm
What's
sorry.
that? No, go on.
I was getting Mick Jagger mixed up. I said, was that Angie? That was Angela Bowie. That was her, wasn't
it? Was it?
I think
it was
so.
About her.
And somehow Mick is involved.
Angie's about Angela Bowie, I think.
Oh, okay.
Those rock stars now.
So that was his version of Layla.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. March 21st, 1970 in Amsterdam. Suzanne McPhail, I'm sorry, comments in. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Suzanne McPhail, who got game.
Happy New Year.
She got game. And March 21st, 1970 in Amsterdam, Dana wins the 15th annual Eurovision song, and nobody cared.
I was just going to say, who won the Eurovision that year?
Yeah, nobody cared. March 25th, 1970, Jose gives a masterful performance of the song El Triste at the Latin Song Festival 2.
He is a legend.
What's that?
Is a legend. He's a legend. He really is. Yeah.
Jose?
Yeah, my wife listens to him.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Luis.
Since your wife listens to him, I won't make a joke. I'll just leave it alone.
Oh, go ahead. She doesn't listen to the show. She doesn't want to see me.
Jose, can you CC?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Is that the Latin version of my
That's
generation?
the Latin version of the national anthem.
My generation.
Dean Farron asked, did you mention Jesus Christ Superstar? Jesus Christ, Dean, come on.
We're going to.
Yeah, don't get ahead of us. Jesus Christ. So
I wanted to make sure it didn't get
forgotten. I mentioned it. I
Yeah.
did just then. Let's see. March 26th, 1970. Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary. Yes, you better be sorry, Dean Farron. You better be sorry. Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary pleads guilty to. Okay, Dean. He keeps.
Wait, I'm gonna hop on. Can I text?
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like me when I first
Just
started
hopped
chiming in
on.
on your show.
He hopped on. He's been nothing but interrupting me the whole time, Dean Farron. March 26th. Let's try this again. Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary pleads guilty to taking immoral liberties with a 14-year-old girl in Washington, D.C.
I read that story.
How come this never really
it was 1970, Scott.
Jesus.
What it was, her and her sister, who was like 16, came to his hotel room, and he assaulted the younger one.
They called it back then taking immoral liberties. What the fuck?
How many roads must the man travel?
Oh, we don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Bad jokes. Truly tasteless jokes.
Yeah. I know. No, when I read that, I was like, holy shit. And yeah, who knows how he feels? He's still alive, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Mary Travers died. I think Peter and Paul are still alive.
Yeah. Let's see.
Now they make mounds. They make candy bars.
Let's see.
Peter and Paul Mounds bars. Come on.
Yeah. Peter Paul
All
Mounds. Evidently, in this case, it's only Peter Mounds.
Tuesday night at Shecky's. It's Lou.
Paul wasn't there to mount. It was only Peter Mounds.
Like some candy.
Marie Martin says the color palette of each of your backgrounds is interesting. Yeah. Well,
Nice.
it's true. I mean, you got Lou sitting in the porn room.
I'm working on an album called it's called Songs from the Porn Couch.
It's the DNA couch. That's what it is.
Okay, let's see. April 2nd, 1970, the London Magistrates Court hears arguments on John Lennon's indecency summons for his exhibition of erotic lithographs during his art exhibition on January 16th. Where'd Mark go?
Oh, Mark disappeared.
Yeah, he must have to go to the
1970
bathroom.
was a naughty year.
Yeah, evidently, right?
People are being naughty.
Yeah. April 3rd, 1970, Minneapolis nightclub, The Depot, opens, eventually renamed First Avenue. Is there any significance to that?
No say.
April 10th, 1970, Paul McCartney publicly announces that he has left the Beatles in a press release, written in mock interview style, that is included in promotional copies of his first solo album and headlined in the Daily Mirror newspaper in the United Kingdom. That's interesting.
Did you ever see her read
promote
it?
your album?
Yeah. Oh, John was pissed because he wanted to announce it first because John left in '69.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Paul made it official. But I've read the questions. It's like he wrote the questions. It's kind of.
That's why I said it's
really
mock
weird.
style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello to the beautiful Tiffany Van Hill. Did I say beautiful? I did. I will see you tomorrow, Tiff. I work with it. Don't worry, people.
Is that at the Herd Foundation?
At the Herd Foundation. Thank you, Lou. That's right. At the Herd Foundation. Yes. Doing great work there. Doing great work there. Let's see. April 14th, 1970. Michael Nesmith announces he has left the Monkees. Not to be outdone. Not to be outdone by Paul McCartney. Mike Nesmith from the Monkees.
Really?
Well, I'm leaving too then. That's that. I'm leaving too.
The whole world wept.
Yeah.
There was the Kennedy assassination. There was the Kennedy assassination. There was Michael Nesmith quitting the Monkees.
Well, Mike Nesmith trying to steal Paul McCartney's thunder. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. Hold on.
Those Beatles.
I want to do this. Iron Man off. I love doing that.
There you go.
That's in the background. Watch this. Iron Man activate. He goes on and on. He's back.
Sorry about that. Somebody knocked on my door.
That's what Tiffany says. See you tomorrow at the Herd. Yep. Your man cave is getting cooler by the minute.
It is. It's cool.
But not as cool as you, Tiffany. Not as cool as you.
All right.
Cool chick. Tiffany's a cool chick. Yes, she is. And it's not, whoever's listening that's all woke and maybe, you called her a chick. Yeah, in a nice way.
This is Herd as in
Herd Foundation. Yeah.
No,
great
Tiffany just sent
website. Anyone should go
Tiffany
on.
just sent you 4 middle fingers.
Oh.
What's that, Mark?
Great website, and anyone that doesn't know should search it out and help.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah.
The Herd Foundation. We're going to be doing bigger stuff in 2024. Yeah.
Good.
Going to become more active and maybe start working with first responders. And yeah, we're trying. Sitting in the hospital waiting room seems on brand for me. Yeah, it is. It is. At least we can keep you entertained, Tiff. So, let's see. You missed that whole little thing, Mark. When Paul McCartney publicly announced he left the Beatles in a press release written in mock interview style. Well, 4 days later, not to be outdone, Mike Nesmith announces he's left the Monkees. He's like, you think? Oh yeah, watch this.
I'm going to break up the Monkees. That's much bigger than the Beatles.
He didn't even have a mock press release. There was nothing. It was like, oh, you left the Monkees.
This was him.
I think Mickey left first.
I'm leaving the Beatles. I'm leaving the Monkees.
Yeah. Let's see. April 17th, 1970, Johnny Cash performs at the White House at the invitation of President Nixon. April 20th, 1970, Paul McCartney's first solo album, McCartney, is released. Any hits off that?
Yes, there were.
What was
it? Every Day.
Every day.
No, that was another day. Every day was every day I sit on lampposts. I'm wasting my time.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't really a hit though, right?
I think
it's
it
not
was
on
a
his
minor
greatest
hit.
hits, is it?
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I think it's a really good song, and maybe his studio version of Maybe I'm Amazed was on it.
Okay. Let's see. April 24th, 1970, Grace Slick of Jefferson Airplane is invited to a tea party at the White House by Tricia Nixon, daughter of U.S. President Richard Nixon. Slick arrives at the party with Abby Hoffman, who's on trial for conspiring to riot at the 68th Democratic National Convention. What? Was that an insurrection in 1968? What? What?
No.
What it was? No, it was liberals crashing a liberal party.
Yeah. There you go. It's it's a big umbrella.
Don't be surprised if that
Now,
starts to happen again.
Who were the Yippies? Remember the Yippies?
Oh, yeah. It was Abby Hoffman was one of the Yippies. Yeah,
and Jerry Rubin.
Yeah, Jerry Rubin. Yeah.
And what happened to Abby Hoffman?
What is it with the Jews?
What did
What
Yippie
is it with
stand
the
for?
Jews and radicalism in the 60s? Like they were the leaders.
They have a reason.
They were the leaders. Those guys, hey, they were revolutionaries.
Also, and all the black people, Malcolm X and
Malcolm X was
Martin Luther King.
If you really, if people, and I don't want to get political on this, but if you listen to the talks with Malcolm X,
I mastered all his speeches for cassette.
That dude made a lot of sense. He was radical, but he made a lot of sense, man. He was a very smart guy, and he was way ahead of his time.
And by the way,
that's why they killed him. He was scary.
And by the way, after the first attempt on his life, his last few speeches were a lot different.
Yeah,
he changed. Yeah.
It's funny. His last one, he was killed. He had people were being patted down at his rallies.
Yeah.
At the last one, he said no because he wanted to bring youth in. He was starting to. It was like the Alliance for African Unity. It was not as radical as the Nation of Islam, but the assassins came from the Newark Mosque, Newark, New Jersey Mosque.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mark, you mastered all those cassettes.
So here's the funny thing. Malcolm X's speeches and Martin Luther King's sermons were public domain. So we had a customer when I worked at Lou CPI in Hillsdale. This guy Paul,
Cassette Productions Incorporated.
He lived in Harlem,
and
he would
sorry,
make.
Mark. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Todd Sockman, Big Head Todd the Wet Sprocket, just commented in. If I don't address it, he's going to keep commenting in. I did not mean to interrupt your story, but he interrupts the show. So Big Head Todd the Wet Sprocket says, "I'm not here, so no need to entertain me. Have a great show, gentlemen."
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's what you get, buddy.
Let down.
You know what I say to him? F you, Big Head Todd the Wet Sprocket. F you.
It's FM Scott.
Yeah. And f you too. All right, go on. The tapes.
Yeah, so this guy Paul, he lived in Harlem, and there was a time like in the late 80s, early 90s, there was an incredible amount of music and content that was not licensed, not copyrighted, expired. So this guy was smart. He had us duplicating Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., and a lot of old gospel and blues singers. He was making money. He was going out in the streets of Harlem. He's a self-made man. When Malcolm X, the movie, came out, those speeches still hadn't been copywritten. So he was making a fortune. And you know what? God bless him. He was selling to the young people. So,
yeah.
And my job was to try to make them sound better. But, they're old, but.
Yeah. Well, Tiffany says, amazed at how perfect the bleeping was over the F words. You know why? Because f***ing cool. That's why. I know what the f*** I'm doing.
Notice you look at the camera when you say the F-bomb, you actually go.
Let me see. The ballot or the bullet.
Yeah. That was his biggest seller.
Yeah. All right. Back to the show. Grace Slick, who's on trial. The pair planned to spike Nixon. So getting back to it, Abby Hoffman and Grace Slick, they planned to spike Nixon's teacup with a heavy dose of LSD. Slick is recognized, although Hoffman is not. How could you miss that dude?
Really? What did he do to disguise himself?
I don't know. And told to leave because she's on the FBI list. They don't say what kind. Say what kind?
Same one as Lennon.
Outside agitators.
Yeah. May 4th, 1970, Charles Warren, 32, becomes the youngest composer ever to win the Pulitzer Prize for music. May 8th, 1970, the Beatles' last LP, Let It Be, is released. May 16th, 1970, Randy Bachman leaves the Guess Who to start up Brave Belt.
Oh,
That
I hope
didn't
he's
last
successful.
Brave belt.
Yeah, Brave Belt. Yeah.
That's
In his
stupid
case,
name.
it was Big Belt.
Exactly. But didn't he write that song as BTO taking care of breakfast?
Yeah. Taking care of breakfast. Also on May 16th, 1970, The Who released Live at Leeds, which is their first live album since its initial reception. Live at Leeds has been cited by several music critics as the best live rock recording of all time.
Oh, it's a monster.
I don't
Amazing.
think so.
Not the best, but it's a monster.
It's up there, but it is not. It's not the best.
What is the best?
Made in Japan.
That's
I agree with you.
Both of you guys have said that. Deep Purple,
Made in
right?
Japan. It's a
Yeah.
pure album. There was no studio, nothing. That was a pure album.
Richie Blackmore was on fire.
And every song on that is fucking killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
John Morris says, "Evening, Scott. Evening, sir." Let's see. May 23rd and 24th, the Grateful Dead make their first British appearance at Hollywood Festival, Newcastle, under Lyme. Every time it's like England, it just can't be like, Boston, Mass, Long Island. It's always these long
Newcastle on time.
Yeah, Hollywood Festival, Newcastle, under Lyme. I love it. What?
I love it.
Henley on Shropshire.
On a bill also featuring
Lancaster Lemons.
Yeah. In Wellsworth. The bill also featured Black Sabbath, Free, and Jose Feliciano.
Cool.
Everyone is completely upstaged by the previously unknown Mungo Jerry, whose debut single in the summertime becomes the best-selling hit of the year. Fucking Mungo Jerry.
That's fucking great.
He upstages the Dead, Sabbath, Free, Jose Feliciano. Fucking Mungo Jerry. He's still making money on that. I don't even know if he's off that song.
I hope so.
Still he's got to be.
They were a friggin' jug band.
Yeah, exactly.
That's beautiful. That's fantastic.
Well, I guess you call that lightning in a jug, right?
Yeah.
Lightning.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought?
They upstaged Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me see. It just says June. I'm not going to read that. June 3rd, 1970, the Kinks singer Ray Davies makes a 6,000-mile round trip from New York to London and back, interrupting the band's American tour to re-record one word on their latest single, Lola. In order to get any airplay in Great Britain, he has to change the word Coca-Cola to a more subtle cherry cola.
Yeah.
So he substituted cherry into Coke.
Yep.
And he created Cherry Coke.
Cola. Yeah, well, they got that. They took that and ran with it, didn't they?
Damn.
And he got no money for that.
Yeah, shot in the leg.
Yeah.
Did he?
He's wearing a bullet because.
June 7th, 1970, The Who played 2 shows of Tommy at the New York Metropolitan Opera House.
The Met.
Yeah. June 13th, The Long and Winding Road becomes the Beatles' last U.S. #1 song, though it's never released as a single in Britain. Wow.
Mark, Scott, a couple of weeks back, we had a little contention about that. I said The Long and Winding Road was their last #1 single, and you said Let It Be, and Perry said you were right. I'd like an apology.
Whoa, yeah. We settled it.
I always thought Long and Winding Road was that. I always said that's the last song they recorded.
Was it? You said that was the last #1, though, wasn't it?
I didn't say that. No.
I thought you just said that was the last song they recorded.
Yeah, I think that was the last song that was recorded with all of them. The last song that they recorded on the album, The Long and Winding Road. I think that was the last one that they did.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't. I don't get into the #1s. That you can fight with Mark over that. You know, as a matter of fact,
I may owe him an apology.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you two duke it out. So I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
You know what, Lou? I'm
sorry.
sick of you not knowing what opera songs are number one. I am so freaking sick of it.
What was the question in question? Was it?
I can't remember.
Was it?
It
Yeah.
get contentious. It really did.
You two,
We're just a bunch of Beatles nerds arguing.
You two have no idea how to fight. You two,
No, we
nice.
don't.
Both of you are two.
You know
nice.
what?
You could have been like, "What the fuck? I never
Exactly.
said that." Like you could have just really see.
Scott, we're two guys from Jersey. We never fight guys from
You
Jersey.
don't fight like that.
I have people fight for me.
That's why I don't fight with them.
Let's see. The Stooges on June 13th, 1970. The Stooges play at Cincinnati Pop Festival, Midsummer Rock. July 4th, 1970. The music countdown show American Top 40 debuts.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow, American Top 40. That was
Casey
1970, huh?
Cool. Today's top 40.
Yeah, I thought it was a little earlier than that.
I would think
If
the
I was to
60s
guess,
too.
I would have said like 68 or something.
Yeah,
But
and I was the mid 60s or something. I mean, Casey
what
was.
a fucking monster that was.
Yeah.
I listened to it.
I mean, that dominated Sundays. And
Hell yeah.
Like unbelievable
It was
monster.
a cool. In retrospect, it was a cool show on XM on 70s. On Sunday morning, they do that. They do the retrospective, whatever year they pick. Like we're doing.
I hear that on. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
interesting.
the whole Casey Kasem when it first, everybody wanted to listen to that, right? Marie Martin says they're not Irish,
Insulted
so they're
you,
not
Mark.
scrappers.
Well, actually, I am,
He
but
is Irish.
my last name is Smith. We won't go
You're
into why it's
English.
Smith.
You're fucking English. Don't
Nah,
do
we
this
were
stuff.
self-hating Irishmen that wanted to
Don't-
work in England back in the
Don't try
1800s,
to
so we
take
changed our
credit. You're
names.
fucking limey.
Would you like some tea, Scott? Would
That's why you
a cup
like
of tea?
fucking soccer.
Football.
Soccer.
It's called footy.
Liverpool.
Footy.
Liverpool.
Yeah. No protection. They run at each other at 50 miles an hour.
Ooh, they're so tough. Yeah. Kings of the dive. Kings of the dive.
Oh, that's called a Neymar. Ah!
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
called
know,
being
I
a
know.
pussy. That's what that's called.
In the case of Neymar, yes, I'll agree.
Look, and I couldn't run 40 yards with those guys. So what am I saying?
I couldn't run 1 foot with those guys.
July 17th, 1970, the Guess Who performed at the White House for President Nixon
Mm-hmm.
and his guest, the Prince of Wales, now Charles III, at Pat Nixon's request. They do not play their breakthrough hit American Woman due to the song's supposed anti-American lyrics.
Anti-Vietnam, I think.
Uh,
Don't need your war machine.
yep.
So
July
Nixon entertained Elvis,
Yep.
Johnny Cash.
Yep.
Wow.
Grace Slick, the Guess
Slick.
Who. Yeah. July 26th, 1970, guitarist Jimi Hendrix plays at his hometown of Seattle at Six Stadium, where under the influence of drugs, he starts verbally abusing members of the audience. Good for you, Jimmy.
He pulled up.
Don't always have to be a fucking nice guy up there.
Verbally
That.
abused.
Every rock star should yell at the audience at least once in their career. Yeah.
Did you know how he talked? I could just hear him go, I just want to say something. You're ugly. You're ugly.
Hey, listen. Fuck you.
I think that's the show where his dad was backstage and it was kind of intense because he had a really bad relationship with his dad.
Now,
And then in the
was
summer
his
of
father
2020, the fucking radicals tore down the statue. They in Seattle during all those mostly peaceful protests. They fucking spray painted the statue and
of Jimmy?
yeah, no respect. Let's see.
There could have been infiltrators in that movement, but we were
Outside agitators.
outside agitators.
You're not one of them outside agitators, are you?
You're such a passive aggressive asshole.
Me? No.
Buddy.
God, I love you. I would never do no.
I'd like to say
so
something to Marie.
You know why? He never bites. That's why I'm trying to get him to. He never fucking bites.
Dude.
He doesn't take
How
the
many
bait.
times have I ever said 3 older sisters? I don't
this
attack.
is
I don't
true,
bite.
yeah.
I got the
This
shit
is
beat out of me for years. I have like organs that are in the wrong spots in my body from my sisters. So yeah. And that is an Irish thing, beating each other up.
Say, Lou?
I was going to tell Maria, Italians are patient. We wait.
Yes.
Yeah. You wait for your pasta and your fucking sauce. It's not gravy.
And sausage and peppers.
Sausage and peppers. Let's see. August. Yeah, it just says August. There's no date. Release in the United States of the album Songs of the Humpback Whale, produced by Roger Payne, publicly demonstrating whale vocalization. I remember hearing about this thing. Yeah, it becomes an unexpected bestseller and influential in public support of whale. I remember that. Songs of, wow. I remember. That's weird. It's pretty obscure, but August 3rd, 1970, Janis Joplin makes his final TV appearance on the Dick Cavett Show.
So bad.
It's always funny though.
Dick Cavett was like, I'm glad that dude ain't coming back. He's fucking ugly.
Did he run into him in the men's room?
Fucking cameraman got fucking dark sunglasses on, just pointing the camera and looking away. Don't look at him.
Brutal. Just brutal.
August 26th through 30th, 1970. The Isle of Wight Festival, 1970, takes place on East Afton Farm off the coast of England. Some 600,000 people attend the largest rock festival of all time.
They crash.
Artists include the Moody Blues, Jimi Hendrix, who didn't abuse the crowd, The Who, The Doors, Chicago, Leonard Cohen. Oh, I'm sure that was an uplifting fucking performance.
That was good.
Miles Davis is his back. He didn't give a fuck about them.
He was badass in that show.
Richie Havens, John Sebastian, Joan Baez, 10 years after, Alvin Lee, very underrated guitar player.
Yes.
Very underrated. Yeah. Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Yeah, their debut.
Yeah, and Jethro Tull.
You missed one. Tiny Tim was there.
Yeah. Tippy toe through the tulips. Yeah.
And Jimi Hendrix at the end of his performance apologized for not playing good.
Did Tiny Tim sing Santa's Got the AIDS?
Yes, he did.
Did he sing Santa Got the AIDS?
Yes, he did. Yeah. In 1980.
I love how he called it the AIDS. The AIDS.
Because Santa's got it bad.
It says the nurses are so sad because Santa's got it bad.
His falsetto was gone at that point.
That was the find of the year. That was the find of the year.
That was some sick shit. Oh my god.
That shit was hilarious. That's going to come up every year now.
Oh, good. Did you see David Soul as the covered man?
The what? The colored man?
David Soul, he was a singer, a folk singer, like in the 60s. So he was on the Merv Griffin show with this bag mask over his head, singing a song called "The Covered Man." He was a good singer.
Wow.
It wasn't. It's weird. It's black and
I'll
white.
have to look that up.
I can send it to you if not.
Send it to me. Dave Phillips, King of the 45, says good evening and healthy New Year to you all. Patty Yossi. Yep. Patty Yossi. Hello, Patty. Of course, Dave comes late, and then all of a sudden, it's like he's going to have to go to bed in like 15 minutes. He's like, yeah, just stopping in, guys.
The audience can do whatever they want, especially when they're your friends. They can do whatever they want.
I'm sorry. Are you taking over the show? Like,
no, I'm just saying.
You know what that means?
Cool. I get
Bargs. Semi-permanent resident.
Yeah. He that's what he gets. That's what he gets. He's speaking for the audience. How dare him? Well, you know what it is. This is good cop, bad cop. He's trying to. What's he doing there? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Stretching. It's been an hour. My back hurts.
He's doing a fucking podcast and he's stretching his arms. His back.
He was doing the armpit fart.
He's fucking contorting like, I'm stretching because this is such hard work.
We're not even halfway through the year, and it's been an hour and 10 minutes.
Son of a bitch, Scott! You make these hard on us. Why? The only reason I'm here is because Lou makes me. Why? This is hard. I have to stretch.
That's a Who song. It's hard. It's hard. It's very, 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 very hard.
Can he do
Dave Phillips, King of the 45, says watching the Celtics get blown out in Milwaukee. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? Yeah, I know. It's an hour in. We're only halfway through the year. A lot went on in 70.
Yeah.
Let's see. August 30th, 1970, the Rolling Stones opened their European tour in Malmö, Sweden. September 6th, 1970, during his final European tour, guitarist Jimi Hendrix is greeted by booing and jeering by the Germans.
The Germans.
As a result of his late appearance on stage, an incoherent stage performance. Bassist Billy Cox quits the tour and returns to the United States. Speaking of that, the other night, I don't know why these fucking people go to see Madonna now. They just all like, I'm going to see Madonna. I got tickets to Madonna. I'm going to Madonna. Oh, Madonna.
I wouldn't
Fuck
go
Madonna.
I like
She's
Madonna,
old.
but I wouldn't
She's
go now.
Done.
Yeah.
No. She was in Boston the other night, and that old bitch ends up coming on at like 10:30 at night. The show was supposed to begin at 8.
Really?
Yeah, she comes on at 10:30. You know what you idiots get what you fucking deserve with her.
Well, the thing is, that
I don't
must
care
have
if you're my
cost
friend
her.
or not. You go see Madonna. What the fuck? She's
That
like
must have-
70.
That must have cost her a ton of money with keeping all the employees
Lip
at the
sync.
arena late. That's a lot of money.
She
You know?
don't give a shit. She
Uh,
just, but she's just a piece of shit.
I
you
saw
know?
the
It's
Kinks.
like-
I saw the Kinks do that.
She lost her relevance. She's not relevant anymore.
No. no.
And
I saw
as much as you don't want to say that about somebody who was once
she's
relevant.
not though.
Yeah.
But she's not.
Just she should have went off gracefully into plastic surgery land.
Well, she looks like the bride of Ilgenstein, that New
No,
York
she looks
socialite.
like Wailing in Flowers.
Yeah,
Madam.
look,
May
but
Wailing Madam.
it's called the Cat Lady.
Madam and Flowers or
Yeah,
whatever.
Wailing Flowers and Madam.
And Madam, yeah, she looks like Madam. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. September 17th, 1970,
Ooh, we're
Jimi
into fall.
Hendrix makes his last appearance with Eric Burdon in War, jamming at Ronnie Scott's Club in London.
Wow.
Hendrix, age 27, well, you know what's coming next,
Yeah.
dies the following day from a barbiturate overdose at his
Shit.
London hotel.
So
We had done a show on that.
Yeah.
I think was it with you guys or was it with me and Jack? Last performances.
The Jack. I
Yeah,
listened
because
to
it
that
went
show.
I think it went 2 episodes. I think we covered 2 episodes of that.
So his last performance was with Eric Burdon in War.
Yeah,
Who were again 1970? They were riding high in 72.
yeah. October 4th, 1970. Janis Joplin is found dead in his bedroom in the landmark Motor Hotel in Hollywood.
Even in death, no respect.
He died from a heroin overdose at the age of 27. Yeah.
Scott, I got to tell you something. Did you ever hear the rumor?
What?
It's really Ozzy Osbourne, and then Janice became Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes.
Yeah, he
No,
killed that persona and became Ozzy.
Of the 27 club, how many are men and how many are women,
It's mostly men.
including Janice?
Yeah.
Oh, you
including
set him
Janis,
up.
yeah.
You set him up.
Yeah.
That's a funny.
October 10th, 1970, newly independent. Whatever. October 30th, 1970, Jim Morrison of The Doors, found guilty of indecent exposure and profanity because of his behavior during a March 1st, 1969 concert, is sentenced to 8 months of hard labor and a $500 fine.
He showed his finger through his zipper. That's what he
Yeah.
showed.
Well, we know where that went.
Yeah.
That was Miami, wasn't it?
Yeah. November 9th,
Can't do
1970.
that in Florida, you know.
Yeah. November 9th, 1970. The blues rock studio double album, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs, the only album by Derek and the Dominoes, is released initially in the United States. The first presentation of the classic title track, Layla, by English guitarist Eric Clapton and American drummer Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
November 12th, 1970. After Yudi Mehu accepts an honorary citizen, blah. November 20th. Not reading all that Swedish shit. November 20th, 1970, the Kinks singer Ray Davies flies to a London studio to re-record one word. They just fucking told
Wait.
us this. What? Yeah, like...
You
Oh,
got
okay,
it.
okay. Hold on.
Oh,
Flies to a London studio to re-record one word of the new Kinks single for the second time in 1970. This time, he has to change the line in Ape Man. The air pollution is a foggin' my eyes, which sounds too much like a fucking my eyes.
Oh, wow.
You can't say that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's also a great song.
Ape Man. It is. You know what?
I'm an ape man. I'm
Yeah.
an ape man.
Man.
Yeah, that is. I forgot all about that song.
I don't want to die in a nuclear war.
Yeah.
I'm an ape man.
Dun, 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 dun.
But it's not as good as I'm a flea bit eating monkey. All my friends are junkies. I'm a monkey.
I'm a cold Italian pizza.
Well, me and Lou are
you are a cold Italian pizza. Lou.
I am.
By the way, what the fuck is an Italian pizza?
There is no other kind, by the way.
It's not Domino.
Yeah, it's
It's
like,
just not
well,
Domino.
no, they got Greek pizza. They got Greek pizza.
They do a Greek pizza, but if you
I
put
like Greek pizza. Actually.
I do
like the way
too.
they do
But if
that
you put
crust.
barbecue sauce and chicken, it ain't a pizza.
It ain't a pizza. No, I made that mistake up in St. Augustine. Someone said,
Really?
"Oh, go to this place in St. Augustine." No, it wasn't. It was somewhere. It wasn't St. Augustine. It was I don't know, like on the west. It was like Jupiter, I think. We went over whatever it is on the west coast of Florida, begins with a J. I don't know. And so it says, "Oh, go to this restaurant." Now they had great wings and they had a good meatball, but I ordered the fucking pizza with the chicken and the barbecue, and I'm like, okay, how bad can it be? It was fucking pretty bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking bad.
I said,
Just
don't
get a
call it a
fucking
pizza.
margarita. I said, next
Yeah.
time, just get a margarita pizza. What the fuck am I thinking?
I do like
It's a
pineapple on a
pastry. It's
pizza.
a pastry.
Oh,
actually.
I love Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, pineapple's good.
I love
Yeah.
the sweetness with the cheese and the
The
red
tang,
sauce,
yeah.
I've come to accept it.
It's good. It's actually I
But-
like it. I think people fight it just because they think it's cool and funny to fight it. It's fucking
Yeah.
good.
I'll
eat anything on a
It's very
pizza.
different. It's different.
It
I'll eat
sounds
anything on a
like
pizza,
it sounds
really,
like
except for
Scott.
chicken and barbecue sauce.
Scott, it sounds like you're very diverse with your pizzas.
Oh, I am. I have
yeah.
never met a
Cool.
pizza I really didn't like. Very few that I've met. It's like the fucking thin crust. It's like eating a cracker. Like I
Yeah,
think we've talked about this. So I don't know, just put fucking spaghetti sauce and some fucking mozzarella on a Ritz cracker. It's better than that
It's
shit.
a saltine, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that thin. I don't like that. But I very rarely have had a pizza that I didn't like. Fucking pizza's good.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, when it comes to that, I'm very liberal with my pizzas. Yeah.
Good.
So what?
Very
Except for
good.
chicken.
That's as
Except
far
for-
as my liberalism goes,
Wait,
though.
2 snaps for Scott.
If
Yeah,
it has to have sauce, it's got to be like the Greek white sauce or like some kind of a pizza tomato based sauce. Anything else is a tort. It's a pastry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look
This
at
is
that.
getting heavy. I can't.
And I don't recognize non-Italian popes, by the way.
Neither do I, especially this one.
Oh, this one's fucking great.
He's
one's-
Argentinian, but he's really Italian though.
Yeah, well.
Well, most Argentinians are German, from what I hear.
Let's see. Dave Phillips, King of the 45, says Kinks, very underrated band. But are they really, though?
Yeah, you know what it is?
Yeah.
You don't hear people that talk about Zeppelin and the Stones.
Are they
talk
great?
about
Are the Kinks great?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They are great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they're considered part of the British invasion, but the thing is that they
They're the
could
ones that never really made it.
they could have been bigger. They just there was legal issues. That's
Yeah.
just otherwise they would have been. Who knows? But even so, like I mean, they were never forgotten here.
Well, let the pizza talk begin because Dave Phillips, King of the 45, says even cold pizza's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello. We
That's
all
right.
fucking been drunk at one point in time
You can't-
or another and woke
Pizza
up
for
and ate
breakfast.
cold pizza.
For breakfast, it's called Italian cheese toast.
Get the fuck out. You know what, Lou? Fucking
What was wrong with that? You just wanted to put someone in the penalty box. It makes you feel good. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You know you sound like Howard Stern when you do that.
Don't argue.
Put me in a penalty box. Wait, I'm biting back.
Shut up.
I want some shrimp scampi pizza. Just tell me.
Get nothing and like it.
all right. Lou actually took a break to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. See, he's smart. He's not dumb.
He took advantage of this penalty box. He's in extended. He's got a double minor. He's got a 5-minute major. Let's see. November 3rd, 1970, the Electric Factory concert venue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania closes its doors.
I've heard about that place.
December 8th, 1970, John Lennon conducts a lengthy and intensely candid interview with Jan Wenner of Rolling Stone magazine. See how I said Jan, not Jan? See, I know.
See?
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know. I know things.
But, being American, he might say Jan. You never know.
Nah, no one spells it Jann without calling it Jan. And then you look at the last name and it's Wenner. He discusses his new solo album and the influence of primal therapy on its creation.
Oh, the screaming. Yeah.
As well as his personal traumas dating back to childhood. He also makes many revelations about his time in the Beatles, including his account of the group's breakup. They all have their own account.
Well, does he talk about Beat the Beatles? That little 1963 occasion? Okay.
December 12th, 1970, the Doors play their final concert with Jim Morrison at the Warehouse in New Orleans, Louisiana. After the concert, the Doors decide that they will not play live anymore due to Morrison's unpredictable live persona. Did you know that they sold out every show they pretty much ever played? They were one of the biggest concert draws of 68 to 70.
Do you think part of it was people wanting to see what Jim Morrison was going to do? That
Maybe.
Absolutely unpredictable, and the shows were just. I mean, they were great musicians, and it's just one of those you go and it's an experience. It's not just going to a concert. Like you're going to go to something.
And don't forget, this is when rock was still kind of young. So you had a lot of pop bands, and you had that underground. Doors were like an underground thing. Like
yes, they were.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
They were part of the dark underbelly of LA. They still sound great. I mean, we were talking about classic rock songs, Scott, our last show, and I said, "Light My Fire" will never sound old to me.
Right?
No,
it just won't.
It won't. No, or Break On Through. I don't think none of it really. Some of it does. Some of it does.
The
Show
poet,
me the way to the next. That's not one of those songs that has a. It was good for its time, but
L.A. Woman and Love Madly. I got sick of those because of radio. Radio just overplayed.
Radio played a lot. Yeah. Riders on the Storm never gets old.
That's great.
Never gets old.
Touch me.
Yep. No.
Really? No, I don't want to.
No,
Lou,
just touch it.
I'm not into long distance relationships.
Here we go again, Lou.
No.
There's always LinkedIn, Scott.
No, I'm not an executive, so I don't fit your criteria.
I gotta go take a shower. Bye, guys.
All right, and finally, December 31st, 1970, Paul McCartney files a lawsuit against the other members of the Beatles to dissolve their partnership, formally ending the band after 10 years. They were all still in their 20s when they broke up.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They were all still in their 20s.
So they're not really mature when you think about it, right? Who's mature in their 20s?
They were writing.
They're mature as songwriters and performers.
Beyond their years. Yeah.
And that's that, buddy. That's we got the we got 1970 in music. So let's go with bands formed in 1970. Aerosmith was formed in 1970. Let's see.
So important to American rock.
Right?
Yeah.
The Bugaloos. Wasn't that a fucking TV show?
It was a TV show.
Yeah. That was one of those Sid and Marty Croft.
Kind of like that.
Yeah,
they were real people, though.
Sid and Marty Croft, they ruled Saturday morning cartoon,
absolutely,
Saturday morning TV for years.
I don't know how long the Bugaloos were on American television. That was the first time I heard a black guy with an English accent.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
Clannad, the Irish, the family band.
That long ago?
Yeah, 1970. And then Enya came out of that. She had a nice solo career.
Wow.
With Oracle Flow. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Let's see. The Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose, who, by the way, gentlemen, you were lucky you mentioned that, Lou, on your music relish program. I was like, I'm listening, I'm commenting in on YouTube. I'm like, you forgot this band, this band, this band, this
There's
band.
a lot.
So I think Perry, I sent Perry a text, and I don't know, Claire, you have to let him know. I think he thought I was being hostile because he's like, oh, we'll mention it on the next Music Relic show. But I was saying it like, hey, this is just some stuff. But I don't know if he took it the wrong way. So tell him I didn't mean it as like a demanding text.
I say at the end of every Music Relic show, even if you want to say something bad, email us. Doesn't matter. Whatever we want to hear it.
If there's a correction or something, or correct us.
Say I hate you. Just email.
Well, there were some technical things like John and Johnny Cash and June. They weren't a duo. They were separate artists.
Yeah, and that's what I said.
Right.
I think Mark said June and June Carter and John Cash, and I was like, no, they were singles who did songs together.
Yeah.
Right.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. Derek and the Dominoes formed in 1970. Daddy Cool. Oh, wasn't that a disco song back in the day? Let's see. The Doobie Brothers were formed in 1970. Earth, Wind, and Fire, born in started in 1970. Wow. ELO, 1970. Elton John Band, 1970.
Wow.
Emerson, Lake and Palmer, 1970.
Yeah.
England Dan and John Floyd Coley, 1970.
Wow.
Jesus. Fucking 1970 was like, let's see. Who else? No. Then it stops for a minute. I'm on H. I'm looking for something at H. Nothing.
We have a comment from the bot.
He's being
belligerent.
Good. I felt bad afterwards. I'm like, did he think that I was being like demanding? Like, you missed this. How did you guys miss this?
Oh, Scott's on a hotspot.
Well, Perry texted me and said, "What's with Scott?"
Oh no! Don't do that to me. Don't do that.
Here's Lou causing trouble again.
Perry. I like Perry a lot, man. That because of him, I got you guys. And
what's it with the drummers? Always starting shit.
How much you paying him, Scott? How much you paying him?
I'd rather yell at you two. I don't think I could ever.
You can't,
Perry. I can't. Him and also Tom. Tom was really the kind of the orchestrator of this thing.
Fuck him.
That's between you.
See, I talk about Tom like you talk about Jack.
Now Perry says Lou is full of shit.
Oh,
everybody,
we have a Music Relish brawl going on.
Tune in to the Music.
Now I'm gonna fight. Now I'm gonna scrap.
Yeah, I might as well just step out and I'll go to the bathroom.
I'll step out too. Bye.
I am full of shit. I am full of shit.
The JBs started in 1970. Jefferson Starship started in 1970. King Harvest, they were one hit wonder.
Yeah. Yep.
But a great one hit wonder, that's for sure.
Yep.
Let's see. No. Modern Lovers, right? The Modern Lovers. Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers, as it became known. There was a group that was going around back some time ago calling them as Jonathan Richman, right? This dude was going around saying, "I'm Jonathan Richman." Oh. And he was booking shows.
Wow.
And he did it for a while. And he was making money off it. And then he finally got caught.
It's an imposter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember Randy Meisner had an imposter?
He did. That's right.
He did. Yeah. It was pretty serious.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird. Of all people.
Mudcrutch.
Tom Petty.
Wow. Yeah.
And also Tom Leadon, Bernie Leadon's brother from the Eagles.
Yeah. 1970. Nirvana. The Yugoslavian band Nirvana.
We are here. We're Nirvana.
The Yugoslav band. That's literally what it says.
Sugar.
In the garre, on the Stevas, on the beaten, on the Steva.
On the last time.
On the schnitzel, on the Vena.
As you are.
Did they have schnitzel in Yugoslavia? I don't
Why
know.
not?
Oh, Lou, that was so like just
good
all
stuff.
Europeans are the same. Come on, yeah,
Pretty much,
come
yeah.
on. Yeah.
That Dynamo, Tony Orlando and Dawn, 1970, right?
Tie a yellow ribbon.
Hey, they had a nice run, man.
What was
Pure
their hit in
Prairie
19
League.
Did they have it in 1970? Was it Candida?
Oh,
Song about a
Candida,
condition.
We
That's
can't
just great.
make it
about
together.
It's about an infection.
Yeah, Jesus.
What's that?
Candida, song about an infection.
It's like a stomach yeast virus infection.
Oh, Jesus. Pure Prairie League. Amy, what you want to do? What other hits did they have?
That was it.
That was it. That's right.
That was it.
Queen, 1970.
Yeah.
Wow, 70. The Raspberries, 1970. Let's see. Ruby and the Rednecks. Yeah.
Ruby and the
baby.
Rednecks.
Let's see. Silly Wizard.
Oh,
You're such a silly wizard.
yeah. I forgot who was in that band. Somebody of note.
Who
You heard
else
of them?
was there? Let me see. That seems to be it. That's a fucking big run for. I think that's
Well,
it.
there's a lot of
next
obscure
page.
bands in
I
there.
know there's more. Here we go.
Oh, he has his writers printing it out for him.
I
now.
do because
Budget's
I make so
going
much money
crazy.
now off
AI
this
writers.
show. Wild Cherry, right? Wild Cherry. They were
Play that
70s.
funky
right?
music,
Yeah,
my boy.
Yeah. And then so there was Silly Wizard, and then there's just Wizard.
I think that was the one with Ron, the guy that started ELO with Jeff Lynne.
Run, not run.
And then I always bring the last one is Zlante Prsti. Don't ask.
I love Zlante Percy. Zlante Percy.
Whatever the fuck that was.
So did Silly Wizard break up, and was there a band called Silly?
I don't know. No, not in 1970. Bands that broke up in 1970, the Beatles, the
Really?
Nice, yeah, Bonzo Dog Doodah Band, Simon and Garfunkel, the Turtles broke up in 1970. Dave Clark 5 broke up in 1970.
They made it that long.
See. Who else? That might be the Buddy Miles Express. Not, I mean, it's Buddy Miles, but
He went to jail.
Country Joe and the Fish broke up in 1970. The Electric Prunes broke up in 1970.
I had too much to dream last night.
Fat Mattress
That's a great name.
broke
I
up.
bought that CD because
Did you?
it's Noel Redding's band, and I bought it and I said it's got to
Oh.
be good. It wasn't that good.
No, it's as good as a Fat Mattress.
Yeah,
It's jazz,
exactly.
isn't
It
it?
smelled like
No,
a
it's
fat
just
mattress
bad
too.
pop.
There's just a
plain
brown
pop.
stain on the fat mattress.
Yeah, there you go. Ginger Baker's Air Force broke up in 1970.
That was a
Gee.
good band.
Genius.
anything with Ginger Baker, right?
You're right, man.
Let's see.
I'll punch you in the nose.
The Justice Kaleidoscope. Who else broke up in 1970?
My parents.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's true.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Lou.
This is the
What the
cathartism
fuck?
of Lou. The cathartism of Lou.
Who else broke up in 1970? My parents. What the
Wah,
fuck, Lou?
Why are you crying about it, though?
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. What
I was
fuck?
put in an orphanage.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, I wasn't.
All right, moving on.
That's a true story.
I believe you. I believe you. The Marvelettes broke up in 1970. The Monkees broke up in 1970.
That's because Mike Nesmith left.
Yeah, because he wanted to top Paul McCartney. So, you know. Coming up on, let me see. Parliament broke up in 1970. They went on to form Parliament Funkadelic eventually.
Wow.
Right? Well, Simon and Garfunkel, we already know that. Japanese band called The Spiders.
From
The
Jupiter.
Jimi Hendrix Experience broke up in 1970.
Bummer.
Thunderclap Newman broke up in 1970.
After one song.
Yes.
Pete Townsend couldn't keep them together.
Yeah.
Good
The
song.
Turtles. Vanilla Fudge broke up in 1970.
They just kept
And
hanging on.
I think that's it. The last one on the list is the West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. Yeah.
San Francisco,
They never
for
had a
sure.
fucking chance.
All reverb.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the movies of 1970. Let's get some movie time in.
Hey,
A
cinema.
little break in the action.
Yeah.
There were a whole lot of great albums also in 1970.
You know, we're going to get to that because I don't have a top 10 for albums. I get top 10s for songs, so we'll just name off albums when it comes time.
Sweet.
Let me start off. MASH came out in 1970.
Yes.
Yeah.
MASH.
Great lineup in that movie. Great.
Yeah.
actors.
Mark, what do you got?
Kelly's Heroes with Clint Eastwood,
Oh, my
Telly
God.
Savalas, Carol O'Connor, Donald Sutherland, and Don Rickles. Who?
Crap Gang.
What if he said those guys are going to be in a war movie together? You'd
Dude,
be like,
fucking
no.
one of the greatest war movies ever made.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Great. Lou?
Maybe the best sequel of all time, even better than Godfather Part 2, and I'm talking Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Hey,
Yeah.
nice.
The $1 million scene from Charlton Heston, the one scene.
Nice.
Oh, when he
Nice.
blows up the world, and then it's a city of apes.
Yeah. Great. Nice. Love Story. Ugh, fucking.
That's with my old roommate,
fucking
Ryan
give
O'Neill.
me a box of razor blades. That motherfucker.
What was the theme? What was the theme from Love Story?
Da-da-da-da-da.
How can I begin to tell
We're
the
in
story?
love, but we're not
Okay.
going to have sex because we don't have sex before marriage. But we're in love. I don't know.
She feels my
Right?
heart.
That was
yeah.
the theme of Love Story.
How can I begin? I think whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That was wasn't that huge?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in 1970, I was either 8 or 9,
Yeah.
and I just remember
And your
like you know,
parents were still broken up.
yeah,
And I was one.
yeah.
1970, I was let me see. I was 6 going on 7.
You
Oh, I
were
was-
3.
Yeah.
We're trying to,
Mark,
Lou
what do
is
you got?
20. Lou is 20, right? Yeah.
Well, actually, my old roommate Ryan O'Neill was in Love Story.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right,
Uh,
Mark, what do you got?
Another Clint. 2 Mules for Sister Sarah.
Two
Another
Moses.
movie I
Yeah,
love.
that's
Wow.
right. That's right. Lou?
CC and Company with Joe Namath and Anne Margaret.
Shit. CC and
He was
Company.
he was in a motorcycle.
Wasn't that was that a sequel to CC Rider?
No, I
Oh,
don't
was
know.
CC Rider a movie? Or was this
I don't know.
CC and Company? Okay.
Yeah.
But I remember that. I always thought that there was some sort of because of the CC, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but yeah. I
That's
saw that at a
that's
drive-in
what a
movie theater.
stuttering Mexican says. CC.
CC Rider. CC. Yes, Rider.
CC. Oh, that's what you call somebody. It's a sissy. CC.
You
let me
call me?
see.
Oh.
Yeah. Rio Lobo. Rio
that John
Lobo
Wayne?
came up. Yep.
John Wayne.
Mark.
A movie that probably I'm the only one who liked because it bombed. The Phantom Toll Booth. Do you remember that?
No.
It was
Heard of
Chuck
it.
Jones, you know, the animation guy.
Yeah.
And it was one of the first movies that combined live action and animation, and it failed miserably, but I liked it. About a kid that goes into a magical world, you know.
Okay.
'Cause
Lou.
I'm like magical.
Patton.
Yeah.
George
Knew you
C.
were gonna fucking
Scott.
Say that. Yeah.
And I think wasn't
Rommel. I read your book, you son of a bitch.
It was great. Your name isn't William, it's Willie.
Yeah.
I think that was directed by Franklin Schaffner, who also directed Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
Always reminded me that the scene with the giant American flag, right? So when I was in basic training, right? I was in basic training and I was on laundry duty, right? Because it got us out. Me and this other dude got us out of the dorm because the laundry was downstairs, right off the break area, right? Which was this probably 20 by 20, 20 by 20 cinder blocked, but it had the design so you could kind of see through it, right? Cinder blocked area, and it had 2 phone booths, and there was an entrance, and you could go in there and smoke and just kind of chill if they gave us a break or something, right? Then there was a building attached to that. That was the phone booths were up against this building, which was the laundry room. So me and this guy, Jeff Fontenot, named Jeff Fontenot, he's from Louisiana. Fontenot, in Louisiana, right?
Grease.
So we're just kind of hanging out, and everybody's fucking underwear or whatever, t-shirts, and I look around the corner and I see somebody behind the phone booths, right? And I tell him, I go, Fontenot, check this out. Look at that. And there's this dude standing like behind, he's in between the phone booth and the building. And I shit you not, the dude fucking darts out from behind the fucking phone booths, right? And he just stops and he does a fucking John Belushi in Animal House when they're going to bring the horse in at night. And he stops and he's jumping left and right? And he's looking around. Now there's a fucking entrance, right? There's an opening here. But this fucking guy decides he's going to scale the wall. Like, instead of just running out and going around it, right? He fucking runs, hits the fucking wall, jumps up like fucking Spider-Man, and he's off.
Jesus.
This dude is breaking out. He's done. So we're like, I go, we got a runner. Right? So we fucking run upstairs and like, yo. And his TI's name was, I shit you not, his name was Sergeant Rambo. Right? Like, yo, Sergeant Rambo, you got a runner. And this dude is running through the field.
Shit.
Fucking, and so they're like, we got to, everything scrambles. Everybody scrambles. They fucking lock the base down, right? Because this dude ain't going to escape, right? They finally get him like an hour later. They get the dude. And they bring him back. And they bring him into a room. And they sit him in a fucking folding chair facing the wall. And the wall was a big American flag. And they made him sit there for hours.
Psychops.
For hours. Like, until they realize, what they're going to do, because they have to call them the security police. And now you got this guy, he can't stick around anymore, right? Now he's a fucking liability. Right?
Yeah.
So while they were deciding what they were going to do with him, he just sat there in this room staring at an American flag. We'll show you, motherfuckers. We'll show you. Had another dude in like day 3. We would have to. Our dorms were above the ground. They were like on these poles, right? Because underneath, in case it rained, we could do our PT. It was probably like, I don't know, 14 feet high off the ground. And you'd have to come down a flight of steps, then kind of do that, square off, and then go down another flight of steps. And it's like, go, 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 go. One more. This dude jumps from the fucking top step and fucking just throws himself off it and takes this wicked fucking wipeout. Just to get out. He fucking broke his ankle.
Oh, man.
Dude just jumped. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
What causes you to do that?
Huh?
What causes you get out?
He didn't want to be there anymore. It was fucking it's stressful, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking, you have no idea. It's fucking, the first 4 days is very fucking stressful, man.
Yeah.
Very stressful. Like we lined up, like we get in there the first night, we line up, right? And it's 2 bays. So you have one bay. This is probably about, 20 beds on each side. And then then there's a big entrance, like an opening. There's a wall that splits the bays. So you got another 2 rows of beds, right?
Yeah.
And so we're all standing at attention in front of whatever bed we grabbed, and everything's quiet. And all of a sudden you hear somebody in the other room. The TI's yelling at everybody, screaming at everybody, and someone in the other room says, you ain't shit. We're like, what the fuck? And he goes, what? It was just like Full Metal Jacket. Who said that? Who said that? Next thing you know, there's a fucking brawl going on.
Oh, shit.
These two are fighting, right? You hear lockers slamming. And like, what the fuck, right? And the fucking whoever said it, they get run out. The other TI comes in and they run them out. And now everybody's like, whoa, this is like only the first night, right? Because we got there at night.
Yeah.
And it was a long day. And I don't know, like a day and a half later, we're all lined up somewhere and someone goes, hey, that TI over there, isn't that the guy that got thrown out the other night? Like, It wasn't. The dude snuck in with us.
Oh,
Wow.
He snuck in with us to try. This is a whole setup between him and my TI to scare the shit out of us. Well, mission accomplished.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a psyop. You know what I mean? Like a psyop. Like we were gonna get their attention.
yeah.
It was insane.
That's in the first. That's in the first week you were there.
That was in the first 3 days.
First 3 days. Jesus.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. So that's my American flag and Patton story. So,
That's
Little Big Man. What a great fucking movie that was.
I've never seen the whole thing.
You've never really.
I've seen it at the beginning. I think it's a long movie, isn't it?
It's a long movie, but it's a great fucking story.
Yeah.
What a great story.
It's one of my
Dustin
streaming
Hoffman.
networks. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch it. Take a Saturday one day and just fucking watch it.
After Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. Mark?
A movie that I was forbidden to watch because I grew up in a born-again Christian environment, but a movie that changed a lot of people's attitudes and launched what we have now on Discovery Network. Do you remember Chariots of the Gods?
Chariots of the Gods, yeah.
It was the idea that maybe there isn't a God, but aliens. Like, you know what?
Right, yeah.
Ancient civilizations could not have done what they did. Like, they definitely weren't smart enough. It had to be aliens that helped them. But, it was good. It was good.
I believe it now.
It was a good to combat what people were force fed by organized religion, But interesting.
Perry Dedovich, the AI, says Woodstock movie released 1970, triple split screen.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Problem for me though. Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, whoa, where do I go? Oh,
yeah.
Lou?
Airport.
That's the second one in a row you stole from me, motherfucker. Get out of my fucking studio. Get out of here. Wherever your camera is. Is it in Spider-Man's eye?
It's Perry's helping me out.
It's Perry. It's Perry. It's all Perry tonight.
That's exactly it. Yes.
Well, you did hurt his feelings, so.
Yeah.
He said I was full of shit.
Oh no, you hurt his feelings.
I heard his
That's
feelings,
what it was.
and he said I was full of shit.
Another John Wayne movie, Chisholm,
Yes.
came out in 1970, right? About a cattle baron.
Yeah.
Mark?
The Out of Towners with Jack Lemmon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. There's another movie. My dad took me to a lot of Jack Lemmon movies when I was a kid. I don't know why. I saw that and the Sunshine Boys with him.
The Sunshine Boys.
Yeah.
All right, Lou.
Catch 22.
Yeah.
You took it from me.
The Joseph Heller novel.
Yeah.
That was Alan Arkin. Artie Garfunkel's in it.
Yeah.
He was doing a little bit of acting then. He
played the ugly guy
with the great hair.
That's the credit. The ugly guy.
The ugly guy sang "Bridge Over Troubled Water."
Yeah. He's
big
singing
hair.
Any movie he got a chance to.
Name the other movie. It might have been 1970 that name the other movie that he was in 1970. Carnal Knowledge.
The one with a lot of sex. I was just going to say that.
With Jack Nicholson and Candice Bergen.
Yeah, and he was also cast as the ugly guy in that.
He was,
too.
but the sex is hot.
Okay,
he was the guy that didn't get any carnal knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. I thought
because he was the ugly guy.
He played the uptight roommate or something. Jack Nicholson was a swinging guy, of course.
So Dean Farron says he's consistent. If anything, did you mention Jesus Christ Superstar yet?
We're waiting for you.
I had to step away from the computer.
He's
you know
like
what
me
you
with-
just did, Dean. You just
You know
did.
what?
You
I will
mentioned
say, you know what pissed me off about that movie? I wish they had gotten Ian Gillan in it as Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did such a good job on the album.
I won't see it because I know the ending. Anyway, so no sense seeing a movie when you know the ending already. Tora.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Japanese air raid on Pearl Harbor.
That was a great time for war movies, wasn't it?
Wasn't Henry Fonda in that one?
Oh, there was. I think there was a lot
No,
of people in
that
one.
you're thinking Midway.
Oh yeah.
Midway had everybody in it.
Dean Farron says Debbie Does Dallas came out in 1970. Nothing like good retro porn.
We know the end of that one too.
Check out the cats. Check out the cats, gentlemen. In fact, I'm gonna unveil it.
Wow.
I'm just gonna unveil it here.
There you go, buddy.
It's a DNA zone. Hey, Lou, you got a black light? Can you shine it on the couch?
No, we already went over this.
It'll
Mark,
look,
give me your.
It'll look like a
movie.
Jackson Pollock painting. No.
Give me a movie. Mark.
Just the mental images right now or two. All right. Dirty Dingus McGee was Frank Sinatra.
Damn you fucker.
Did you ever see that?
I've seen
What is it?
Dirty Dingus McGee.
How could a dingus not be dirty, by the way?
It's a Frank Sinatra cowboy movie. It's horrible, but it was fun to watch. Just watch Frank Sinatra as a cowboy.
Isn't that what Charles, what's his name? Riley, Charles C. Something C. Riley.
He was in everything.
No. What's his name? The guy that plays Professor, Dr. Stephen Brule on
John C.
Check
Reilly.
It Out.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah, John C. Reilly. Yeah, he always calls everyone Dangus. Lou?
Kelly's Heroes.
We already said that.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
shit.
I'm lying to you.
Okay. Five easy pieces.
5 easy pieces. There you go.
Jack Nicholson.
So a lot of cowboy movies and war movies, because They Call Me Trinity came out in 1970. Another cowboy movie. Yeah. Mark?
The Aristocats.
Yeah.
Classic.
Is that your favorite? No, it's not a Disney movie, is it?
No, that is. It's and it's not my favorite, but it's one of them. Just good childhood memories.
Lou? I'm running out of good movies. So.
The Great White Hope.
Who was in
James Earl Jones.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, this is one of those. This movie came with in our local theater in Winthrop, Mass. Barf bags. This was one of those, like one of the last, like promotional items. Tiffany, the beautiful Tiffany said, "I'm home from the hospital. Wasn't expecting to see you all to still be." Well, we don't do.
We're
short
still on
podcasts. We're still not done.
It's a show that never ends.
Grateful Dead of podcasts.
It's the show that never ends, Tiff. It's the show that never ends. This one came, like I said, one of those props like barf bags and, banned in X amount of countries. Mark of the Devil. In 1700s Austria, a witch hunter's apprentice has doubts about his righteousness of witch hunting when he witnesses the brutality, the injustice, the falsehood, the torture, and the arbitrary killing that go with the job. That's like the big scene in that movie is when they rip the dude's tongue out.
I never saw that movie.
Mark of the Devil, yeah. All right, give me one more, Mark.
I'm gonna go with hold on. Where is it? Give Me Shelter, Rolling Stones. That was a legitimate movie.
Yeah.
And I barely remember it. I watched it on PBS, as I told Lou on the show last week. But I just ordered the Blu-ray and I'm going to watch it. But that was where you see Marty Ballin get knocked out, and fortunately, the guy got killed. It's a dark movie.
Yeah. Dean Farron, you should stick to retro porn because I already said MASH. So go look up your porn list of retro porn movies. Nothing like a good retro porn, though, every once in a while.
There's Last Tango in Tampa.
Last Tango in Tampa. Oh, Jesus.
Last Tango in Tijuana.
All right.
And
He says, okay. I'm going to look. Dean says, okay. Okay.
I've seen them. They're hot.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Mark, you asked for it. You get it.
What's that?
You make the call.
Yeah.
Time for you make the call. So I'm going to give you guys
cool.
2 songs or 2 bands, and it's, which one is better? Which one do you like better? I'm going to start off with You Make the Call, Stevie Wonder, Living for the City, or Marvin Gaye, Inner City Blues.
Oof.
Which song? Living for the City, Stevie Wonder, or Inner City Blues, Marvin Gaye?
I'm going to go with Stevie Wonder only because I like him. They're both equal, but Stevie Wonder edges out as my favorite. So one of my favorites. So I'm going to go with Living for the City.
Lou?
I'm going to say the same thing.
I'm gonna make it a flush because that song is so fucking great.
Yeah.
If not just for the na 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 na.
Yeah.
It's like three different songs in one. It goes in so many different directions.
The lyrics are so
not
right
taking anything away from Inner City Blues either.
No,
Not a second of anything from it. All right, you make the call. The Police version. Every Little Thing or Walking on the Moon. Mark. No, I'm going to let Lou. Lou, you go first.
That's tough. Every Little Thing.
I'm going to go with Walking on the Moon because it's a good bass jam.
Well, I got to be the tiebreaker. I got to go Walking on the Moon.
Okay.
Yeah. Dun, dun.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
It is a tough. They're both amazing in their own way. I mean,
well, that's why you make the call.
Yeah.
You know what? This is like picking one of your children. It's tough. You know,
Sophie's Choice.
I think
Sophie's Choice, Mark.
Yeah. God.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Walking on the Moon is the Police that they're primitive, but not primitive. Every Little Thing is the Police as they evolved as a band. And they're both so great, and the drumming on both songs. I mean, just the hi-hat on Walking on the Moon. It was unusual at that time because it's going against the grain. But
just remember, Lou, giant steps are what you take walking on the moon.
But I hope my leg don't break. Is that the gravity issue?
Walking on the moon. Okay, you make the call. The Who version. Won't Get Fooled Again or Bubba O'Reilly. Mark.
Won't Get Fooled Again. Bob O'Reilly, when I heard it, it really got me going, and it's great, and I still love it, but Won't Get Fooled Again, it's an 8-minute song. As a prog guy, 8-minute songs are great.
Luke?
And it's got that,
Yes, I agree.
Won't Get Fooled Again?
It's an epic. The whole break, the whole keyboard break, whatever.
Yes.
Was that a synthesizer he was playing or some kind of early sequencer?
ARP synthesizer.
It was an ARP?
Yeah.
At that time, the Who were using it. Keith Moon was using headphones, which is pretty innovative for him anyway, because the guy had no sense of tempo. But I think so. Yeah.
I got to go with Bubba O'Reilly.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Both are.
Yeah.
You make the call. Aerosmith edition. Better album. Get Your Wings or Toys in the Attic. Lou.
Can I go first? I'm not an Aerosmith fan. I know some of Toys in the Attic, so I'm just going with that. But I'm not an authority. Not a good opinion.
God.
Yeah.
I know both albums.
Yep.
Inside and out.
Yep.
And I love them both, but I really think that even though we got tired of Sweet Emotion on classic rock radio, Toys in the Attic had Uncle Salty, which is a fucking great song.
Oh, You Hear Me Calling too. That's such,
so I'm going to go
the
with
Dream
Toys
On version.
You know, Toys in the Attic is a class, like a big album from them with hits, but it's justified. Like it's really a good album. So I'm going to go with Toys in the Attic.
I'm going to go with Get Your Wings because that version of Train Kept a Rollin' is fucking ultra classic.
Yeah. Okay.
That for forever, that was my favorite Aerosmith song. And just it's kind of a dark sound to that album.
Yes.
You know, two totally different albums. See, that was the beauty of Aerosmith back in the day. They did what U2 did what they did because they came first, is each album sounded different. They didn't ever try to sound the same. Although You Hear Me Calling was Steven Tyler trying to maybe reenact Dream On, get that ballad in there, the piano ballad, you know. And both are great songs. I think You Hear Me Calling does not get enough radio play.
No,
I don't think it gets enough credit.
I've never heard it on the radio, in fact. Never.
But, Spaced, Woman of the World,
yeah,
off of Get Your Wings.
But then Toys in the Act, Round and Round.
Yeah, Round and Round. That's heavy, man.
But Get Your Wings for a second album? What a fucking second album. That is, to me,
I'm a big second album guy, as we know.
Yeah,
and that
I think Get Your Wings is equal to Led Zeppelin too, as far as a second album.
Great albums.
Were the songs on those early albums, were they all band compositions? I mean, they did some covers, I'm sure, but was it?
I don't think they did any covers on those.
Okay.
Big 10-inch.
Yeah, and Train Kept a Rolling was a cover.
Train Kept a Rolling. Yeah.
Other than that,
that was it.
But as far as songwriting credits, was it Steve Tyler and Joe Perry for the most part?
Mostly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Toxic Twins.
Yep.
Bands. This one might be a little easier than the other choices. You make the call. Bands edition. B-52s or Devo. Lou.
B-52s.
Mark.
Devo.
You
know why? I say Devo started really early, and they were Devo really early on. They formed really early.
They were groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Yes,
although B-52, two groundbreaking bands, really.
In Devo, remember, family band.
Yeah, that's
two
right.
Two sets of brothers.
The Mother's Ball and the Casal brothers or something.
Yeah. And you guys missed it.
Yes, we did.
Music relish.
Feel free to email us, Scott, with corrections.
I just
and
go on
suggestions.
YouTube. Check YouTube. I drop my comments there.
Just stop picking on Perry.
Right.
Please.
Dave Phillips, King of the 45, says, "Good night, boys. I hung in till 9:44." Look at him.
I know how it feels. I have to get up in a couple hours too.
Well, we do it on Thursday night because you wanted it on Thursday night.
I know. Right? It's cool.
I don't need sleep.
Well, we're almost done with this section.
No, I'm joking. Scott, I didn't, brother. I didn't mean to get, I mean, I'm just joking. Come on,
All right, here we go.
We never solved the question.
I'm going to go with B-52s.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll break the tie. I'm going to go with the B-52s because they are America's greatest party band.
Best party band, yeah.
I like Devo, don't get me wrong. I just think the B-52s, "Give Me Back My Man" is one of my favorite songs of all time.
They've also been around a long time, too. They were around long before REM on the Athens scene.
I saw them in 1980. I believe. Saw them in 1980 at Club Casino in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. I was right at the stage, and the stage was one of those kind of waist-high stages.
Yeah, right, exactly. Those are great. Those are the best stages, man.
And it was literally a club. It was so it was like tables, and the fucking waiters would come around, and then there was like more seating in the back. It's not a small venue, but I got somehow the tickets got messed up with handing them off, and the guy gave me one back, and here I am right at the stage, as usual. I didn't have to speak up.
Scott, did Fred Schneider sit on your shoulders?
No. Fred Schneider didn't.
Okay. No. I didn't say anything else.
Painted sign on the side of the road that says 16 miles to the Love Shack.
Scott's got a real comfortable neck.
Yeah.
They're also a band that they survived the loss of a very key member. Ricky Wills, was it Wills? Ricky Wills?
Wilson.
Ricky Wilson. And the drummer took over the guitar chores, but so that was a big shift considering how they sounded. But I think they evolved as a band.
The keyboard player from Smashing Pumpkins.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a thing. He's not like they didn't have a keyboard player. He was their tour keyboard player. Yeah. You OD'd with him. No, didn't he die of AIDS? He died of AIDS.
Ricky Wilson died of AIDS.
Yeah, died of AIDS. That's right. And finally, you make the call, solo edition. Elton John or Billy Joel? Lou.
Elton John.
Mark?
Elton John.
Yeah.
Even though Billy Joel was American and all this, Elton John just made more songs I liked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every week I will have 5. You make the calls.
I like it. Cool.
This is cool.
Yeah. They're hard. They start to get a little difficult.
Hard.
You start kind of like, well, because I have to pick them, right? And then I have to say, I have to determine, and it's just on what I know.
Wait.
It's not like which song do you like better, and it could be like, you know,
no,
this
you gotta
one,
take
one.
one.
Like this. Yeah, you have to find something equal. Like you have to find something that's of equal caliber.
And those two choices are hanging on ropes, falling off a building, and you have to pick one to survive. That's the. What did you pick with Elton John and
I picked Elton John.
Okay. Yeah.
Clean sweep. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not a big. There's like 5 Billy Joel songs that I like.
Right.
Captain Jack probably being my favorite.
You know what's funny about Billy Joel?
Story. It's a great fucking story.
Yeah, it is.
Depressing, Scott.
Love it though.
Billy Joel has one thing in common with Emerson, Lake and Palmer. He was great to a point, and he fell off. Emerson, Lake and Palmer made great albums to a point, 1973,
and
they just fell off.
And
Billy Joel, he blew his load. He just couldn't do it after.
All over the piano, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't want that piano. This piano looked like loose couch after a while. All right, no sound effects, Lou. No sound. Right. Hey, enough. That's gross.
I got that one.
Show.
Penalty box.
I got that one from Fred.
That's it.
Yep, good. Yep. Cool. I got to pee.
Penalty.
Yeah, that's some excuse. Yeah. God. That was beyond the pale, man.
Is going.
All right, so let's get rid of that. This show's gonna go. I ain't waiting for him. We're into the top 20 anyway. So, top 10 this week in 1970, starting at number 10. "Baby, Take Me in Your Arms" by, I would think, Jefferson Starship. "Baby, Take Me in Your Arms."
Top 10, really?
Yeah, I guess. This is what I have.
Is it a single or an album?
This is the singles. Top 10 song charts from this week in 1970. So, number 9, "Without Love, There's Nothing," Tom Jones. Number 8 this week on the charts, top 10 chart, whatever the fuck it is, "Midnight Cowboy" by Ferrante and Teaker.
How does that go?
I don't know.
This is weird.
Number 7 this week, "Nana Hey Hey Kiss Him Goodbye" by Steam.
Great song.
Number 6 this week in the top 10 of 1970, "Holly Holy," Neil Diamond.
That's a weird song. We used to think it was Heine Hole. Heine Hole.
Number 5 this week in 1970, "Someday We'll Be Together," Diana Ross and the Supremes. Number 4 this week in 1970, "Venus" by The Shocking Blue, with a pretty hot lead singer with a very hot voice.
QT.
Number 3 this week, and this is weird, leaving on a jet plane," Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Because you're fleeing the country because of charges against you.
I was I was in, like, I don't know, fucking 3rd grade maybe or something. We had this teacher, I forget her name, but she fucking put a record on and started lip syncing this in front of the whole class one day.
Wow.
And she's dancing. She was dancing and lip syncing this fucking, I was like, I never forgot that. I thought, how fucking weird is this?
Yeah, we went to school in the 70s. The 70s were weird times to go to school.
They used to let us go home for lunch.
Yeah, we're like, we learned about death in like my 10th grade English class, like in 75. Like my teacher, her father died. So we spent the year learning about death. It had nothing to do with the composition.
Yeah,
it's like, okay.
But yeah, back in the day, we'd go home for lunch before school lunches, and then you'd fucking come back.
Trust.
Yeah. They didn't care like some kids roaming the streets.
No, that's what we do. That's what we did.
Yeah, and we were fine.
We were free range and organic. We were cage free.
Yeah. He's back.
Schmitty.
He's sleeping.
Listen, when I was in 3rd grade, I was walking home from school. I had a guy stop in a car, get out, and he was in a trench coat and chase me into the woods. So shit's always been real.
What's his name? Peter?
Yeah. I remember, Lou, I was on Kinderkamak
Was
Road
he
on
in
the
a
hills.
trio?
Well, Lou will know the location.
How many roads must the boy
How many trees can you hide behind?
Lou, you know where Kinderkamak dips
Trench
coming
Coat
into
Mafia.
Hillsdale from Westwood?
No,
And you
I'm
got the
sorry.
little bridge over the river.
Which one? Where?
Kinderkamak Road, where it dips from Westwood coming into Hillsdale right before Lawrence Street, where I lived.
Okay.
And I was there, and a car just pulls over, and it's a big old Chevy. You know, it's the 70s, and guy gets out in a trench coat. He goes, "There he is. Let's get him." I ran it down into the woods. I ran through the water. That was, you know, that fight or flight or whatever that's called, where you just that was
Yeah.
the scariest moment in my life. So 77 that happened. Yeah, shit was happening.
They just want to give you a ride home. That's all.
Now,
Yeah, that's all.
if that happened today,
your
that would be
parents
on Facebook, you know.
Perry Denham CIA says, the AI says, home for lunch to eat spiced ham sandwiches.
And then vomit.
Wiener
and then go back
schnitzel.
to school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Number 2 this week in 1970 in the top 10. I Want You Back, the Jackson 5.
Good song.
Yeah.
And then number 1 this week in 1970 from the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Written
B.J.
by?
Thomas.
Written by?
It was. Oh, I know the answer to this too. I can't think of it.
Burt Bacharach.
Burt Bacharach. That's right.
Yeah, Hal David.
Knew that.
What gives it away is the second half of the song. Bum, 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 bum.
Burt Bacharach. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum-ba-da.
Oh, I do have a top
You
10.
love trumpets.
Top 10 albums this week in 1970.
Sweet.
Number 10 is Puzzle People by The Temptations. Number 9 this week in the album charts in 1970, Santana. Number 8 this week in 1970, Crosby, Stills and Nash. Crosby, Stills and Nash. Number 7 this week in 1970, Blood, Sweat and Tears. Blood, Sweat and Tears. 3 debut albums in a row in the top 10. Wow. Number 6 this week in the top 10 album charts, was captured live at the Forum, 3 Dog Night. Number 5 this week in the album charts in 1970, Tom Jones, live in Las Vegas. So a couple live albums in there. Number 4 this week on the album charts in 1970, Let It Bleed, the Rolling Stones. Greatest birthday cake album cover ever.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Number 3 this week in 1970 in the album charts, Willie and the Poor Boys, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Boom, 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 ba-dum,
Number
ba-dum.
2 this week in 1970. I'm gonna let you guys guess which was number 2 and number 1. Number 2 this week in 1970 album charts, Lou. What do you think?
Bridge Over Troubled Water.
No, Mark.
Deja Vu, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and Carlin
No.
and Nixon and
No, Led Zeppelin 2.
Wow.
oh,
Yeah,
Really?
Led Zeppelin 2. Yep.
made it that high. Wow.
Yeah. And number 1 this week in 1970.
Charles Manson, Lies, The Love and Terror Cult.
Abbey Road,
Ah,
the
That's
Beatles.
nice. Okay. In 1970. So that was released in 69.
Yeah,
in the
but
summer of
it's-
69.
It was on the album charts in 70 still.
Yeah. Well,
you stop quoting Brian Adams, please.
it's the summer of 69, man.
Jesus.
Mark,
Mark.
that cuts like a knife, man.
Yeah, easy.
All right.
Mark, do you
Please
have
forgive me.
albums from 1970?
Yeah, I have
Give
a few.
me 5. Give me 5 albums from 1970.
Okay. Well, Led Zeppelin 3, which is my second favorite Zeppelin album. All Things Must Pass, George Harrison. American Beauty, Grateful Dead. Emerson, Lake and Palmer's debut album. And for the 5th, I'll go with Time in a Word, the second Yes album, and Steve Howe still wasn't in the band, but it's a good album.
All right. Lou, give me 5 albums from 1970.
The band Stage Fright,
Yeah.
the 3rd album. Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Right.
Cold Fact, Sixto Rodriguez.
Oh yeah.
That's 3 so far, I think, right? The Flying Burrito Brothers, Burrito Deluxe, progenitors of the country rock movement.
Yes.
Miles Davis, Bitches Brew.
Oh, I forgot that one.
Game changer.
Oh,
Total game changer.
one of my favorites. Yeah.
The list of musicians on that is, for jazz rock, is the cream of the crop. Incredible.
Amazing. Yeah.
All right.
And I'm gonna say one more. Gordon Lightfoot. It's called "Sit Down, Young Stranger." It had, if you could read my mind on it, his first big hit. They ended up changing the name of the album, re-releasing it called "If You Could Change." If you could read my mind.
Right.
But that was yeah.
All right.
A big album.
I'm going to go with
There's
All Things
more.
Must Pass, George Harrison. Right. Paranoid, Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmos Factory, CCR. After the Gold Rush, Neil Young.
Yeah.
And I'll go with Deja Vu, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Yeah.
There were some amazing. I mean, the whole year of albums is incredible.
We could do a whole fucking show on
Deep Purple's Mark II. Deep Purple Mark II.
That's
put out
right.
their first album, Deep Purple and Rock. Yeah.
Oh,
the Mothers of Invention put out Burnt Weenie Sandwich, and the world was never the same.
Exactly.
What were the hits off that album?
Weenie.
Nothing.
Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go with it's time for
This Day in Music.
Yeah.
all right, I can do This Day in Music.
Yeah.
This Day in Music.
Yeah.
This Day in Music.
Cool.
I think I like that one.
Yeah, that's cool.
This Day in Music.
You go, Scott.
It sounds like your woke
If you
voice.
see a painted sign on the side of the road that says 16 miles to the Love Shack.
Tin roof. Rusted.
Tin Roof. Rusted.
That's creepy.
It is. My headphones are like
I like that one. Let me see. On this day,
Gee, Lou, we got to get one of those.
let's see. On this day in 2017, rockabilly guitarist Tommy Alsop, who narrowly avoided boarding. Oh fuck! This show's getting long. Narrowly avoided boarding the plane that killed Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper, died at age 85.
Yeah.
The musician famously lost a coin toss for a seat on the plane. His place was taken by teen star Richie Valens, who also perished.
Damn.
Alsop went on to become a Grammy-winning musician who played with Merle Haggard, Roy Orbison, and Willie Nelson.
So even the losers get lucky sometimes.
Yeah.
Lou's got-
the losers.
Lou's got pictures of the crash site too.
It's terrible. It's horrible. It's macabre. Okay.
On this day in 2016, David Bowie topped the UK album chart with his latest release, Black Star, less than 24 hours after his death.
Love
Speaking
that
of
album.
which, Mark talked about that earlier.
Oh, I love that album.
Scott, we were talking about the cruel month of January.
Yeah, that's right.
For musicians.
Yeah. I think last show we were doing that, right?
Yeah.
With sales over 43,000 units, the album outsold its nearest competitor, Elvis Presley's If I Can Dream, by 25,000. Let me see. On this day in 2008, Robbie Williams, manager, told the Times newspaper that the singer would refuse to make another album for his record label EMI, saying he was unhappy after the label was taken over by Terra Firma. Tim Clark told the paper Williams would not deliver a new album because he had no idea how the label would handle it. Williams had sold 47 million albums around the world since leaving Take That, the boy band group, in 95, making him one of EMI's most successful artists. He did have a good solo career. He's kind of like the British version of Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, he did a great version of She's the One that was originally done by World Party. Let me see. In this day in 2008, Ringo popped up a lot this show. Ringo Starr helped Dean Ferrin still with the movies. Babysitting nymphets. There you go, buddy. Hey, 19 said babysit. He did his homework. Gotta give him credit for that one, buddy.
He's like me when I first chimed on the show. I'd be 20 minutes late with a comment.
Yeah. It's the new Lou chiming in.
Yeah. Patty, thank you very much for watching. She said, great show, guys. Have a good night. Yeah. It's the
Patty.
10 o'clock hour. It's the witching hour. Let me get this back. Here we go.
Babysitting.
Ringo Starr helped launch the celebration for Liverpool's Year of European Capital of Culture. Whatever.
No.
He
Anything
was
about
joined by
Liverpool?
acrobats who dangled on wires from cranes as the opening party kicked off a year-long program of more than 350 events. Organizers hoped the Capital of Culture tag would attract an extra 2 million visitors to Liverpool because the fucking soccer team sucked and nobody was winning. And then fucking people stopped paying. You wanted me to read it. It's exactly what it says. You want it, you got it.
Not, just because you're from Boston, you're not the only one that can say "fuck you."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what is it?
I'm honored to get that.
No, it's more like this. You.
Good timing.
On this day in
Go
2005,
babysit some nymphets, you.
Pornhub. On this day in 2005, former Bread guitarist and Academy Award-winning songwriter James Griffin died at his home in Nashville at the age of 61 because Bread was such a depressing fucking band.
He died?
He died, yeah.
You don't like Bread?
Dreams have
I
you
love Bread.
ever tried?
See, I'm a Steve Wilson fan, so I like Bread. I like dark. I like depressing.
Dean Ferrin says John Holmes in Sucker, the biggest, the baddest.
Oh, God.
Let's see. On this day in 2003, Pete Townsend issued a public statement denying being a pedophile after his name was linked with the police internet porn inquiry. But the Who guitarist did admit studying child porn for research into a campaign against it because he claimed he was molested as a child. Well, he's got a damn good lawyer who gave him a great excuse.
He got away with it. He got away with it.
Did you read the autobiography, Pete?
You can't believe what they write about themselves.
Isn't his name? It's Pete Townsend, isn't it?
Pete Townsend.
I'm a boy.
Oh, Lou is rocking tonight.
Well, okay, so I mean, if you ever listen to the song "Rough Boys," right? It's a great fucking song. But listen to the lyrics.
It's gay. It's
very gay.
It's
very gay. Well, didn't he come out as he was bi or something? Didn't he say he was?
What's that?
Didn't he at one point say he was bi?
No, he said he was a woman. He goes, I am a woman.
Yeah, he was a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. He seemed to kind of walk away from that in the latter years. But
yeah, of course he did.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah. But Rough Boys it's a great rock and roll song.
It is, yeah.
Great song.
Dean Ferrin says, thank God
Mark,
for the
you okay?
1970 porn. The hairiest porn out there. That's right. There's a lot.
God.
Ron Jeremy, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a lot going on in 1970.
And lots of sweat. Lots of sweat.
Here?
Let's see. On this day in 2002, Mickey Finn, percussionist and sideman to Mark Boland from T-Rex, died of kidney and liver problems at age 55. On this day in 2000, it was reported that Whitney Houston was under investigation after allegedly trying to smuggle 14.2 grams of marijuana out of Hawaii. A security officer found the drug in the singer's handbag. Houston then walked away, and when he tried to while he tried to detain her. All right.
If we tried
let's see. On this day in 1998, Rolling Stone magazine readers poll picked "Be Here Now" by Oasis as album of the year. It's a great album. "Be Here Now" is an instant commercial success, becoming the fastest selling album in British chart history and topping the album chart in 15 countries. It was the biggest selling album in 1997 in the UK with 1.47 million units sold that year. As of 2016, the album has sold 8 million copies worldwide. Liam Gallagher is on a tear. He just came out with a single, Under a Rainbow. It's fucking good. Like it is like vintage.
It's produced like shit, though. It sounds like shit.
I don't know. Well, you might notice it, but I just know. I just hear a good song.
I said Mark was having an episode there for a
I'm
few minutes.
sorry, you guys got me.
He was having a bit of an existential meltdown, I think.
On this day in 1992, Nirvana appeared on NBC TV Saturday Night Live, performing 2 songs, Smells Like Teen Spirit and Territorial Pissings. Also on this day, the group's Nevermind went to #1 in the U.S.
Smells
Did
like
they do it? Did they
Harry
do it in Yugoslavian too?
Yeah. They did it in Yugoslavia too. There we go.
Fuck you, Lou.
On this day in 1986, why this band is not in the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is beyond me. More so than a lot of other bands. They should be in there. The Pet Shop Boys scored their first UK #1 single with West End Girls.
Yeah.
The first version of the song was released in April 1984, becoming a club hit in the United States. After the duo signed with EMI, the song was re-recorded with producer Stephen Hague.
Stephen Hague was the guy that tried to produce REM's first record, Murmur.
Tried?
He had synthesizers and sequencers, and they were like, "Please stop!" It just didn't work. But before Mitch Easter and Don Dixon, Stephen Hague was apparently. I've not been able to get any access to any of those outtakes from that. I'd like to hear it, because it was like Radio Free Europe with synthesizers on it.
Oh wow!
And
I don't know how that would sound.
Yeah, probably. I think pretty bad actually.
Yeah,
I hear a lot of Pet Shop Boys in retrospect. I hear a lot of them on the XM channels, on like the First Wave and like other like new wave channels and like dance things, but they still have legs,
Yeah. Dean Farron says, I have to say this before you guys sign off. Go Steelers. I can't believe I read that for you. I have much respect for the Patriots organization. You should. You should. Thanks, Dean. We appreciate you. We appreciate you watching and participating too. It's pretty funny shit. You got
inflated
Mark.
balls.
Mark
Oh God!
spit fucking wine out his nose.
Oh
so
shit!
I
just have this image
he drinks
of a
a Yellow Jacket wine or something like that. Whatever the
Yellow
fuck it
Jacket.
is.
It'll sting you.
Fuck. On this day in 1985, a Brazilian rock festival held in Rio claimed to be the biggest ever stage. The festival featured Queen, Rod Stewart, AC/DC, Whitesnake, whatever incarnation of Whitesnake at that time.
Right.
I think that was the David Coverdale version. Yes, and Iron Maiden.
That's a great bill.
Yeah. On this day in 1975, the Alan Freeman BBC Radio 1 show broadcast a Pink Floyd show recorded at the Empire Pool, Wembley, London, England. See, they always have this Empire Pool, Wembley, London, England. What the fuck to say? Empire Pool, fucking in London. Jesus. On the 16th of November 1971, the band had played 4 nights at Wembley on their Dark Side of the Moon tour, and tapes from these shows have been remixed. Wow.
There's my son gave me the vinyl of their performance of it. It's great.
Okay.
Really good.
That's right. Yeah. You just showed that. You took a picture of it, right? On this day in 1975, Led Zeppelin played their first concert in 18 months when they appeared at the Ahoy, Rotterdam, Holland, playing one of 2 warm-up shows for their forthcoming North American tour. The set list included some new songs, Sick Again, The Rain Song, Cashmere, No Quarter, Trampled Underfoot. Jesus Christ.
What year was this?
That was 74. 75, I'm sorry, 75.
Yeah, that was a good tour.
Yeah. On this day in 1973, it was confirmed that the forthcoming Rolling Stones tour of Japan had been canceled despite record-breaking ticket sales. Mick Jagger had earlier been informed that he was banned from entering the country because of a drugs conviction. On this day in 1967, the Jimi Hendrix Experience recorded Purple Haze at Delane Lee Studios in London. Hendrix later stated, the Purple Haze was about a dream he had and that he was walking under the sea. In concert, Hendrix sometimes substituted lyrics for comic effect. Excuse me while I kiss the sky, right?
Did you want to kiss that guy?
Say, excuse me while I kiss, was rendered, excuse me while I kiss this guy, while gesturing towards his drummer, Mitch Mitchell. On this day in 1964, Louie Louie by the Kingsmen was the number one song on the U.S. Cashbox music chart.
Badass
For a
song.
while, the record was banned by a handful of U.S. radio stations because of its indecipherable lyrics, which were rumored to contain some naughty words. Even the FBI investigated the song, but finally concluded they could find nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with saying I felt my bone in her hair.
Yeah. On this day in 1964, Ring of Fire, The Best of Johnny Cash, became the first number one album when Billboard debuted their country album chart. It was his 16th album in total in the first compilations album chart by Cash. On this day in 1963, the Beatles recorded their first national TV show, Thank Your Lucky Stars. They mimed to their new single, Please Please Me, which was released on this day. On this day in 1962, Cliff Richard was number one in the UK singles charts with The Young Ones. Stayed at the top of the charts for 6 weeks and made Cliff the first UK artist ever to enter the chart at number one.
And it became a great BBC show.
Yeah. On this day in 1958, the release date for Elvis Presley's single Jailhouse Rock was put back a week after Decca Records' pressing plant in the UK were unable to meet the advance orders of 250,000 copies.
I know how that goes.
Some of the characters named in the song are real people. Shifty Henry was a well-known LA musician, not a criminal. The Purple Gang was a real mob. Sad Sack was a U.S. Army nickname in World War II for a loser.
Let's
me.
See.
Yeah. Born on this day. Let's see. Mary J. Blige, the queen of soul.
Wow,
yep,
70.
Mary J. Born on
How old
this
is
day in
she?
1971.
71.
Yeah. Born and stay in 71, Tom Rowlands from the English electronic music duo, the Chemical Brothers.
Good band.
Don't speak. No, I don't think. Well, let's see. Born on this day in 1968, American guitarist and producer Tom Dumont from No Doubt. Born on this day in 1958, Vicki Peterson, guitar vocals from American pop rock band The Bangles.
She's 65 now or 64 now.
I know.
Is she the blonde?
No. Wait, no, you're right.
The blonde is the drummer.
No,
Yeah,
wait, I'm thinking of the Go-Go's. I had a crush on the Go-Go's guitarist. Is that Caffey?
Charlotte Caffey. Charlotte Caffey.
She was, I had a crush on her.
Let's see.
Go-Go's were great.
Born on this day in 1956, Big Bank Hank. I'm Big Bank Hank. I'm everywhere. I'm here. I'm there. Big Bank Hank. Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh, shit.
Come on. Sugar Hill Gang.
I don't know the individual members, but I did hold one of their original
Wonder Mike.
Yeah,
Big Bank Hank. Come on. Let's see. Born on this day in 1948, Welsh rock drummer Terry Williams, who worked with Dire Straits for a while.
And
was he the first drummer?
No, Pick Withers was the first drummer. He's a drummer on the Brothers in Arms, the latter day. He's a drummer, Money for Nothing. Apparently, there was some controversy whether there was Omar Hakim or Terry Williams on that track, but it's Terry Williams.
Omar Hakim was on Across the River, that song.
And a few others, but no, there was two drummers on that record. Yeah.
Born on this day in 1946, Naomi Judd. Let me see. Born on this day in 1946, Tony Kaye.
Oh, yeah.
Founding member of Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Later played in Badfinger.
He played in
Bad Luck.
He also played one tour with David Bowie.
Wow.
Because I have that album. My son gave me that album in 77. The Diamond Dogs tour, 76. He played in the band.
Tony Kaye was in Badfinger and didn't hang himself?
Jesus. Patty Yossi says Gina was her name, Mark. He's thinking of Gina Shock, right?
Gina Shock.
Yes,
but you like the other one, right?
Didn't she
no, I do. I have class.
She Yellowtail. Fuck you to me. Yeah.
Yellowtail spells class. And,
Yellow Jacket.
Yeah.
Gina, there's a video. Maybe I'll bring it out next week. Gina Shock saying "fuck you, Scott." Yeah.
Go-Go's are great.
Born in this day in
Should have been in the
1942.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Clarence Clemens was born this day in 1942.
The big man.
Wow, 42.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
He
think
was like in his
that's it.
40s in the 80s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gentlemen, that's the show. That's the beginning of our 4th season.
Wow.
We finished the
4th
first
year.
set of the concert. We will take a break and we'll
Yeah.
be back for the final
Take a
set.
break and we'll be back. Yeah.
Drum solo.
Yeah. Solo, please. Drums, please. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. This was
Great show.
2.5 hours. We're right on schedule.
Yeah.
We're right
show.
on schedule.
Yep.
It's always the years. It depends, right? Some
Right.
years are just more active than others.
Exactly.
But
there was a whole lot of albums we didn't even touch upon in 1970. I mean, a lot. They're big. They're huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, how much time? How much
Good for us.
time do you think we could cover? More time in 1970.
We could, I bet, another hour and a half.
We
Well,
could-
why don't
maybe we should
pick
do
up
another show.
1970 part 2 next week.
Let's do it.
Cool. Yeah.
And we can at least
Yeah.
start it off with that, and then I'll have some, maybe some like if we finish it up, then I'll have stuff to filler. I'll have good filler for it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
You asked a question earlier. You said, like, do you think 1970 was more of a continuation of the 60s or 70s?
60s, yeah.
I break. I think it's a break.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was the
Well,
start of something
we'll-
totally new. I mean, if you look at the summer of '69,
We'll discuss it. Let's discuss it next week.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to
yeah.
tip but
Yeah.
that's a good discussion to open next week because it's kind of
Okay.
to me it was a weird year when it kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the tradition of 70s network TV, to be continued.
To be continued. Yeah, this is we don't do this too often either.
Yeah.
But 70 was it was a very interesting year.
Yeah.
Patty says congrats, 4 years. It's the start of the fourth year. Yeah, that's fuck.
And I'm glad to be a part of it. And
Me
thank you.
too.
Yeah.
Well, I always
Honor.
tell you guys, and I always mean it.
Who knew?
I thank you for your time. I thank you for your knowledge, but most of all, I thank you for your friendship. I always truly appreciate what you bring to the table. It's always interesting and it's always good. And for the people that are watching, the people that are listening, I want to thank you. Some of you have been around for the 4 years, the last 3 years, the start of the 4th year, and I appreciate that. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. I think we're going to
It is.
keep traveling in the right direction. It's only going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And so with all that said, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you like it, share it. If you didn't, well, thanks for watching and listening for 2 hours and 37 minutes.
Suckers.
Yeah. We'll be back next week. I always appreciate you. You are the engine that runs this machine. Without you, it'd just be me talking to these two. Well, we do that all week anyway, so that's, just the norm. And doing this show for you guys, to quote my favorite artist, Morrissey, the pleasure, the privilege is mine. And we will be back next Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, guys? Thursday. Lou's done with all his rehearsal.
I have a gig coming up on the 22nd, but I'll let you know. I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good.
Sounds good.
It's good to
All
be
right,
busy.
everybody.
It's good to be busy.
We'll be back next week.
Okay.